In the episode Visiting Vikings, Patrick and SpongeBob celebrate Leif Erikson Day by embarking on a time-traveling journey to the actual Viking times. Courtesy of some of Patrick-style nonsense, they wind up in the era of real Vikings, complete with long beards and Norse helmets.
Who are you?
We are from the future, where you are a fearsome Viking warrior. But it looks like we got here a little early. So I guess it's up to us to mold you from Meatball Boy into a real Viking warrior.
This zany premise is itself a deep-cut reference. Leif Erikson Day has been mentioned in SpongeBob before, and this episode goes out of its way to honor that legacy. Early on, as Patrick gears up for the holiday, SpongeBob makes a special appearance wearing a traditional Viking helmet and a big red beard. It looks good on him, right? Like, what do you guys think? I think it looks good on him. But yeah, SpongeBob cheerfully exclaims, "Hinga dinga durgan." And you know what? Me saying it didn't do it justice. Play the clip of SpongeBob saying it.
Hi, SpongeBob, hi!
Happy Leif Erikson Day! Hinga-dinga-durgan.
Now, longtime fans should instantly recognize this costume and catchphrase from the classic Season 2 episode Bubble Buddy, as we get a very similar scene. This is 100% a reference. In Bubble Buddy's opening, SpongeBob wished everyone a happy Leif Erikson Day, and to do this, he dresses up in a very specific outfit and says something very, very specific. Roll the footage.
Hey everybody, it's Leif Erikson Day! Hinga-dinga-durgan.
As you guys just seen, SpongeBob dresses up as a stereotypical Viking, while uttering that same goofy Norwegian phrase, Hinga dinga durgan. This is another one that's connecting the universes, as this episode, Visiting Vikings, is technically a The Patrick Star Show episode, but what was just referenced is from old school SpongeBob, thus connecting the two shows even more. I know I keep on rambling on about that, but it's clear that like Nickelodeon is being very intentional about this. I might do a whole video just on this topic. Next up is the episode The Jellyfish Kid, and this is actually the very first episode of Camp Coral, a 3D animated SpongeBob spin-off that I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with. I'm not the biggest fan of this show, I'm not gonna lie. I think the Patrick Star Show is much better, but you're not here for my opinion, you're here for Easter eggs, and there are some really cool references in this episode. For one, if we take a look at this scene and we pause at the right frame right here, we'll notice that there's this photo on Mr. Krabs' drawer. And if we zoom in, we'll see that it's him holding Pearl as a baby. Now, if this shot looks familiar, it's because this photo is a direct reference to an older SpongeBob episode. If we rewind all the way back to the episode Selling Out, we can find this exact same photo right here. Let's do a side by side. Yeah, this is a reference, and a really cool reference. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Camp Coral, but I love that this reference is here. But there's also more. One of my favorite episodes is the classic SpongeBob episode Sailor Mouth, where SpongeBob and Patrick come across swear words and they start swearing, something they shouldn't do. You know, they shouldn't be swearing.
Hi, Squidward! How the are ya?
Nice day, isn't it, Squidward?
Every time they swear, though, it's referred to having a sailor's mouth, and this is also referenced in the Jellyfish Kid. In Camp Coral, it's basically like a summer camp, right? So every person has their own dorm, and in SpongeBob's dorm, we see this list of rules right here. And as you can see, one of the rules is no sailor mouth, making for another really cool reference. In the episode Tag Your It, it's a rainy day at Camp Coral, which means everybody can't really play outside. I mean, you could, but you're gonna get wet. It's better to avoid it. So everybody finds a way to entertain themselves indoors, specifically with a crazy game of tag. It's an all right episode, but what we're really here for, guys, you guys know what we're really here for, and it's Easter eggs. And the first one can be found during this scene, where we see Sandy flush her helmet almost like it's a toilet or a drain. If that looks familiar, it's because this is another direct reference, okay? This is a direct reference to OG SpongeBob, specifically the episode Texas. In this episode, Sandy starts missing her home state of Texas, and she gets very emotional. We get a couple scenes of her crying, and in one scene, she has to empty out her water bowl. Roll the clip. This is kind of like a deep cut reference, and it's cool to see that the creators of Camp Coral also knew to include this type of stuff. And there's more in Tag Your It. I really like this one, but if we go to the point of the episode about 13 minutes in and 40 seconds, if we pause at the right frame, you'll notice that there's a jar of mayo on Patrick's shelf. And this is most likely a reference to him asking if mayonnaise is an instrument in Band Geeks. Patrick seems to have some sort of obsession with mayo, which is also why it might be there. But yeah, who knew that Camp Coral actually had some cool Easter eggs like this? In the season 16 episode, Pigkin Pearl, Pearl Krabs joins her high school football team and unexpectedly becomes their new star player, leading Bikini Bottom High into a championship game. I personally really like episodes like this because they're not as focused on SpongeBob and are giving other characters a chance to shine, like Pearl. This has actually happened a couple of times now. Like, we had a whole episode, Mall Girl Pearl, which was all about Pearl getting a job at the mall. I think SpongeBob only appears for like a second in that episode, and there's plenty of others, but this episode in particular celebrates Pearl's athletic prowess, while SpongeBob and Patrick enthusiastically cheer her on from the sidelines. As the game unfolds, the animators slip in nods to earlier SpongeBob adventures that eagle-eyed fans will definitely recognize. For instance, when Patrick scrambles up the towering bleachers to reach the announcer's booth, he suddenly dons a familiar getup, a Swiss mountaineer's outfit complete with an alpine hat and gear. Does this look familiar to you guys? Longtime viewers will remember Patrick wearing a nearly identical Swiss mountain climbing outfit back in the season 3 episode, New Student Starfish. During this gag right here.
Come in, SpongeBob!
It seems the Pigkin Pearl team gave Patrick's old costume a bit of a redesign here, but the homage is definitely clear. Another fun reference comes via Pearl's fearsome opponents in the episode. I mean, just listen to this clip right here and listen to what they call the rival football team, like the team's name.
The new Kelp City Delinquents. Their entire team has been held back in school for decades.
As you just heard, the rival football team is called the New Kelp City Delinquents, a team name that in itself is an Easter egg. New Kelp City is a location introduced in the special SpongeBob episode, Whatever Happened to SpongeBob, also known as Who Bob What Pants, which is actually a much cooler title. But yeah, this is the first time we heard of New Kelp City.
Citizens of New Kelp, come out of the shadows! 'Cause Cheese Boy kicked the bubble poppin' gang right out of town!
This is an historic day for New Kelp City. You have rid this city of the bubble poppin' boys.
It's a rare location that is very rarely brought up, and originally was kind of exclusive to Whatever Happened to SpongeBob. The location was made just so that SpongeBob could go missing and end up in New Kelp City. So it's really cool to see it referenced in season 16 so many years later. This is like a deep cut. Also, by naming the rival football team after that city, the episode is like subtly connecting Pearl's high school sports story to SpongeBob's broader universe. And again, I've said this in the past couple of Easter egg videos, this is something Nickelodeon has been doing a ton in season 16. But yeah, let's keep it going. There's some more Easter eggs in this episode. So the climax of Pigkin Pearl delivers perhaps the most heartwarming one though. When Pearl is down and doubting herself, SpongeBob steps in to give her a confidence boost. And if you take a look at this clip, it's somewhat of a reference to an older SpongeBob episode.
You look nervous. I'm gonna share a special cheer with you. My grandma taught it to me. When days are tough and things go bad, grandmas help you not feel sad. Remember to just be you.
As you just seen, SpongeBob performs a sweet cheer that Grandma SquarePants taught him, advising Pearl to just be you when times are tough. Well, this entire scene mirrors an older scene from the episode Rock Bottom. Now, they're not identical, but it's more the fact of SpongeBob quoting something from his grandmother. Take a look at the clip and you'll see what I mean.
I guess Grandpa SquarePants was right. Don't run for a bus. Especially one that's going up at a 90-degree angle.
If you listen closely, SpongeBob does that same high-pitched voice that he did in Pigkin Pearl, showing that these two are a little bit of a reference. Either way, the fact that Grandma SquarePants was brought up in general is somewhat of a cool reference. She isn't in the show very often anymore and had a big appearance back in the episode Grandma's Kisses. She was actually a lot more present if you remember, like back in season 1, 2, and 3, so seeing her being referenced in season 16 16 is really cool. In the episode Terror on Tape, the Star family spend a spooky day watching a collection of haunted VHS tapes, a collection that they got from the Flying Dutchman. Again, this is really cool, another example of them kind of building up the SpongeBob world and bringing it all together. Back in the day, if you guys remember, the Flying Dutchman was like a rare character. Like, it's not like he never appeared, but he didn't appear in every episode, and he wasn't a background character. If he did appear, he was a big part of the plot. So it's cool to see that he's just like a normal character in this episode. But anyways, this episode goes on to essentially be an anthology of mini horror spoofs, with each cursed take telling a different creepy tale, starring Patrick and his family. The episode crams in homages to famous horror tropes, and even a legendary sound effect, one that only sharp-eared and sharp-eyed fans will catch. During a chaotic scene, a hapless background fish falls overboard from the ship Fancy, and take a listen to what happens next.
We're off the menu!
If you've heard that little scream before, it's because it's a very iconic sound effect, the Wilhelm scream. The scream, a classic stock sound effect used in countless films since the 1950s, is a beloved inside joke among sound editors and movie buffs. And hearing it pop in Patrick's haunted tape is a treat for fans. But yeah, its appearance in Terror on Tape is both a cheeky nod to horror cinema and a self-aware gag about the rarity of that scream in the series. But let's keep it going, there's more. Each cursed tape Patrick watches is a send-up of a different horror genre, and the episode's artists take the opportunity to reference a beloved horror anthology film. Slayground is presented in a vivid, stylized color scheme that horror fans might find familiar. In fact, the color design of the Slayground, with its lurid reds, deep blues, and comic book style shading, is directly inspired by the 1982 horror comedy film Creepshow. Creepshow, directed by George Romero and written by Stephen King, used bold comic book panel visuals and dramatic lighting to emulate old EC horror comics. And Terror on the Tape lovingly imitates that look. In Slayground, when Patrick and Squidina explore a cursed playground, the frames occasionally freeze into drawn comic panels with saturated colors and eerie lighting, just as Creepshow did. And yeah, this is a really good episode, especially if you're a fan of like Halloween and horror. I know it isn't very fitting right now. Go give the episode a watch, it's a good one. Another spooky episode is Curse of the Weredoodle. This Halloween special brings back one of SpongeBob's scariest creations, Doodle Bob. But honestly, Doodle Bob's one of my favorite characters. Like, he's awesome. Take a look at this funny clip from his original episode. But yeah, in this episode, Curse of the Weredoodle, SpongeBob is bitten by Doodle Bob, the wicked pencil-drawn duplicate of SpongeBob from Season 2's Frankendoodle, and this transforms him into a weredoodle. This happens whenever the moonlight hits, and it's essentially a werewolf-like doodle version of himself. Take a look at this clip. As a tribute to his pencil-drawn roots, the episode is overflowing with references to Frankendoodle, and even a recent Doodle Bob cameo, making it a gold mine for fans of SpongeBob lore. Once SpongeBob's weredoodle side starts wreaking havoc, the homages come fast and furious. For example, take a look at the way the weredoodle repeatedly body slams Mr. Krabs in this scene right here. Dude, he's just like flinging the poor crab back and forth like a rag doll. But this is a direct visual callback to Doodle Bob's infamous beatdown of Squidward in Frankendoodle.
Doodle boy, stop!
Did you guys catch that? As in that 2002 episode, Doodle Bob pounced on Squidward and smashed him flat in the exact same manner. This has also happened before. If we go back to the episode Squiddy Box, Doodle Bob does the exact same thing. Take a look. Yeah, really cool references here, guys, and there's more. Let's keep it rolling. As the Weredoodle's next rampage moment is another scene ripped straight from Frankendoodle. As you guys just seen, the Weredoodle took that long wooden beam and turned it into a pencil by chewing on it. And longtime fans will immediately recall Doodle Bob's tactic in Frankendoodle, where he grabbed the magic pencil and did the exact same thing after it snapped, complete with the same frenzied, sharpening sound effects. Seeing the Weredoodle do this with an entire wooden post is a hilarious escalation of the reference. And the episode doesn't stop there. During the climax of the episode, during the chase, the Weredoodle defeats Bubble Bubble Bass by drawing a quick hole on the ground, which results in this happening to Bubble Bass. Roll the clip. This trick is a carbon copy of Doodle Bob's strategy from Frankendoodle, of course, where the villainous Doodle sketched a pit to trap SpongeBob and Patrick. In Curse of the Weredoodle, the context has changed, with Bubble Bass being the unlucky victim this time. But the visual gag is an instant hole, complete with the scribbled edges and Bubble Bass's shocked expression as he drops through the hand-drawn void. This episode, Curse of the Weredoodle, is very good. So many cool Easter eggs in it. In the episode, Pardon My Wand, another one from season 16, by the way, let me know what you guys think in the comments about season 16. I feel like there's been some really good episodes this season. But yeah, in this episode, SpongeBob comes into possession of a misplaced magician's wand. And of course, as you can imagine, SpongeBob doesn't give it back. He proceeds to cause absolute magical mayhem across Bikini Bottom, just like he does in this clip right here. Roll it.
Gary, did you redecorate the living room while I was out?
This episode is jam-packed with rapid-fire gags, as SpongeBob accidentally transforms and enchants everything in sight. And many of those gags are sly callbacks to SpongeBob's past antics. The first Easter egg appears on stage, including a very large snail with a bushy brown body. Longtime fans may recognize this creature as the elephant snail from the episode Don't Feed the Clowns, a one-off character from that episode. In that episode, the elephant snail was a circus animal that roared like an elephant and balanced on a beach ball. Well, Pardon My Wand brings the elephant snail back for an encore, making for a really cool Easter egg, as this character has not been seen since, and I don't think he's going to be seen again for a while after this. But yeah, as the episode continues, SpongeBob inadvertently casts a hiccup spell on himself, and this is where another Easter egg comes in. The uncontrollable hiccups SpongeBob makes throughout the scene might sound exactly like you've heard them before, and that's because the audio recordings of SpongeBob hiccups are literally reused from the episode Hiccup Plague. In Hiccup Plague from season 12, SpongeBob was afflicted with a citywide contagious hiccup outbreak, and Tom Kenny's ridiculous hiccup sounds in that episode were apparently so perfect that Pardon My Wand lifted them wholesale for this magic mission. Here's the Pardon My Wand version. And here's the Hiccup Plague version. And yeah, as you notice, they're like literally the exact same sound. Again, this might be a reference, but this might also just be the team being lazy. Tom Kenny is very old now, guys. He's aging, and honestly, if you even listen to his voice in the most recent SpongeBob movie, you can hear the age. So I imagine that they save certain sounds that he has to make so he doesn't have to redo them when he comes into the studio. That's just my theory, but who knows? As SpongeBob gleefully skips through town wielding the unruly wand, Pardon My Wand turns into a rapid montage of magical callbacks. For example, SpongeBob accidentally transforms a couple's boatmobile into a gigantic orange sea snake. If it seems familiar, it's because that very same slithery creature appeared in the season 14 episode Squidward box, when Squidward's imagination turned against him. If we look at a side-by-side, I'd say that these two are the same snake. They're the same color, and yeah, I think it's the same character. But the surprises continue as SpongeBob prances past familiar locals. For example, he skips by the exact same bench from the episode Something Smells. Here's a side-by-side, and yeah, I think they're the same. I mean, this old bench is drawn and placed exactly as it was in that season 2 episode, making it a little piece of SpongeBob history plunked into the background. Moments later, SpongeBob twirls past the ice cream parlor from the episode Hall Monitor. Here's another side-by-side, and it's definitely the same. And yeah, longtime viewers have seen this ice cream shop multiple times now. It's where SpongeBob caused mayhem as a hall monitor, and where Patrick got severe and comical sunburn back in the episode Sun Bleached. So its presence here further cements the idea that all these episodes share one connected lived-in world, a point that I've been pushing for the past couple of videos. Finally, Pardon My Wand caps off its reference parade with a brilliant deep cut. In the mayhem, SpongeBob SpongeBob accidentally shrinks Squidward, very similarly to the way he did back with Mermaid Man's belt. But yeah, this leaves Squidward tiny in his own garden. As if on cue, the same cockroach from the episode Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 4 appears, towering over mini Squidward and proceeding to rough him up.
Why is everything all tiny?
This is a direct homage of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 4 from season 3, making for another really cool reference. The episode Hog Hunting follows SpongeBob and Patrick on a wild countryside adventure, tracking down Old Man Jakin's prized worm hog, a pig-like critter, after it goes missing.
You keep your hands off my beautiful Beulah!
I wasn't touching her, I was just, admiring her beauty.
This episode dives into a ton of good humor. It plays into the whole countryman stereotype. Think barnyards, beards, and backwoods shenanigans pretty much. It's a good episode. But it also hides a couple of clever pop culture parodies. One of the first gags comes when SpongeBob stumbles on Old Man Jenkins watching his favorite soap opera, Days of Our Styes. For those of you who don't know, this title is a really funny little goof referencing the long-running soap opera, Days of Our Lives. The show's writers are clearly winking at the audience here. Bikini Bottom has its own version of Days of Our Lives, only with hogs instead of people. And if that sounds familiar, it's because SpongeBob has spoofed this exact soap opera before in the episode Wary Gary. This one is a snail-focused drama called Snails of Our Lives, played on TV as a pet parody of the same series. Later in this episode, Hog Hunting treats us to a musical Easter egg that's perfectly in tune with the episode's country western vibe. SpongeBob and Patrick end up literally living in Old Man Jenkins' enormous beard for a while. Long story short, hiding from an angry Jenkins after a failed hog catching attempt. During their cozy exile in his facial hair, and sings a delightful ditty titled Home in a Beard. Take a listen, but we can't play it for too long because I'm not trying to get destroyed by copyright.
Home in a beard, where the whiskers and stubble are weird.
If the melody and theme sound old-timey to you, that's by design. Home in a Beard is a direct parody of the classic American folk song Home on the Range. The original 1972 song famously yearns for life on the open prairie, whereas SpongeBob's version yearns for, well, the comfort of living in a bristly old beard. I cannot relate. Between the soap opera spoofs and folk song parodies, Hog Hunting shows that even in jellyfish fields and barns, SpongeBob's world is never far from ours, or from its own past jokes. As a two-part Halloween special, The Haunted Bucket overflows with spooky fun and callbacks to SpongeBob's own haunted history. The episode's setup sees SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward entering the chum bucket on Halloween night, only for Plankton's latest evil gadget to malfunction and rip open a portal to a ghostly underworld.
Why are they dressed like cowboys? Well, I bought the chum bucket cheap because it was built on an ancient cowboy burial ground.
What follows is a cascade of visual gags and references that will make any longtime fan cackle like the Flying Dutchman. In fact, speaking of the Dutchman, Squidward shows up to Mr. Krabs' Halloween party wearing his old Flying Dutchman costume. And if it looks familiar, it's because it's from this scene I'm about to play from the episode Scaredy Pants. Roll the clip.
I've come for your pickle.
Here's a side-by-side, and yeah, he's wearing the exact same costume, and I love this, man. Like, this episode is season 16, so it came out in 2025. Scaredy Pants came out in the early 2000s, so whoever wrote this episode or this gag, they did their research. You know, I wonder if Squidward dresses up as the Flying Dutchman every year, and if he does, it's kind of funny, because this is the same dude who put Squidward down the Fly of Despair. This happened in the episode Shanghai, and just look, poor Squidward. Actually, maybe he's dressing up as him so that doesn't happen again. But anyways, once the real haunting begins in this episode, SpongeBob himself ends up transformed into a special form. And keen-eyed viewers will notice that it's the same look he sported in season 7's The Curse of Bikini Bottom. In that episode, SpongeBob and Patrick were turned into transparent green ghosts by the Dutchman's curse.
You're ghosts!
Ooh!
We're ghosts!
This isn't really working out the way I imagined.
The Haunted Bucket gives SpongeBob a similar ghostly appearance when he accidentally gets zapped by Plankton's machine, echoing the previous episode I just mentioned. Meanwhile, SpongeBob and Patrick's choice of Halloween costumes is also a deep cut in itself. Take a look.
We're going as a simul. Uh-oh, I think we're both rear ends.
As you just seen, SpongeBob and Patrick dress up as a two-person horse. This silly getup actually resembles Patrick's own horse alter ego from the episode Pat the Horse, in which Patrick pretended to be a horse for literally a whole episode. Like, I'm not lying. Take a look at this clip.
Calm down, buddy. I don't want to lose you again.
But the episode doesn't stop at character costumes. The entire Chum Bucket laboratory is dressed up with references. When Plankton chases the trespassers into his basement lab, the set piece will look familiar, as the lab's layout closely resembles the high-tech lab seen in Welcome to the Chum Bucket, right down to the large machines and eerie lighting. Like, here's a side-by-side and you can definitely see it. Additionally, SpongeBob's old robot SpongeBob makes a cameo in the corner, and this is the same robot version of SpongeBob from the episode Welcome to the Chum Bucket.
Get welded.
Wait! I command you, make me a Krabby Patty!
There's another Easter egg during that same Plankton laboratory scene, with the animators even throwing in a transmogrifter device from the episode The Algae's Always Greener, another infamous Plankton invention that swapped his life with Mr. Krabs. It's sitting amongst the junk in the lab, and it's a blink and you'll miss it type of Easter egg for sharp viewers who recall that life-switching remote control. These background details firmly root the haunted bucket in SpongeBob's lore, making the Chum Bucket feel like a haunted museum of Plankton's past schemes. I love it. And there's more. At one point, Plankton frantically brainstorms how to stop the rampaging ghosts he's unleashed and muses that he needs something absorbent yet porous. Does that sound familiar to you guys? Well, poke that suggests Plankton knows exactly who can save the day.
All we need now is something to contain those ghosts.
Something absorbent, yet porous.
Oh.
Even the trick-or-treating montage is loaded with Easter eggs. For example, who remembers the character Kenny the Cat? He appeared in literally the episode called Kenny the Cat, and take a look at this clip. He was an interesting character.
But down here, I'm someone special. Someone who can make people happy. And if making the world a happier place makes me a criminal, then lock me up and sew away the key.
This is how Kenny the Cat looks. And remember this as it's important. If we go back to that trick-or-treating montage scene, look.
Hello?
As you just saw, one of the background kids is dressed as Kenny the Cat, complete with whiskers and a ear headband. And he even has a poster of Kenny in his house, referencing the famous air-breathing feline from the episode Kenny the Cat. This is really cool because it's more world building. Kenny the Cat is a celebrity in Bikini Bottom, if you guys remember from the episode Kenny the Cat, so it makes sense that a kid would have a poster of him and would dress up as him. This was really good writing here. But if we look closely, another costume child twirls in a sparkly pink gown. Well, a lot of people think that this could be a reference to Glinda, the Good Witch from The Wizard of Oz. Here's a side-by-side. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You should be sleeping though. You shouldn't be commenting anything actually. Just stay sleeping, close those eyes, and let Cartoon Corey put you to sleep. It sounded kind of creepy, but I don't mean it like that. But let's keep it moving, as just when you think the Haunted Bucket has packed every single SpongeBob reference possible, it even tips its hat to Charlie Brown. Some of you guys might not know Charlie Brown because you're young, but Charlie Brown is like an iconic cartoon from back in the day. But yeah, a few scenes gently parody the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown special, with pumpkin ghosts and candy gags that Peanuts aficionados will definitely recognize. All of these homages and in-jokes are woven seamlessly into the narrative. The characters never pause to explain them, like I do, but fans like me in the know will be very happy with this episode, so go give it a watch. Okay, so we just talked about a bunch of season 16 episodes, but let's switch up the flow a little bit. Our next episode is called The String. And before we get into the Easter eggs, let's do a little plot summary. This episode begins with SpongeBob cooking Krabby Patties until he sees a loose thread on Squidward's shirt. SpongeBob decides to pull the string and ends up pulling it for so long that it leaves Squidward naked.
Someone order a rusty cab?
I like string.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And this is where the episode pretty much goes from here. SpongeBob continues unraveling things until every Bikini Bottomite is pretty much annoyed, especially Squidward, who always ends up having his clothes unraveled by the string. This all goes on until the end of the episode, where Patrick eventually uses the string as dental floss, thus ending the episode. But just as the episode ends, there's a huge Easter egg. If we go back to the first SpongeBob SquarePants movie, there's this fisherman right here. And we haven't seen him since that movie, but at the very end of the string, he makes his first reappearance in a long time.
That means cleaning up your candy wrappers?
But they usually just disappear, like magic.
Ooh, kinda like my wet towels after I shower.
When Patrick's mother, Bunny, leaves the Star family home for a week in the episode Cleanin' House, she leaves to claim an inheritance in Clopnod, the location we were talking about earlier. And when she does this, chaos quickly erupts in her absence. Each member of the household is tasked with cleaning a different part of the now filthy house before their mom gets home. And it makes for a good plot, but I know what you guys are actually here for, and it's the Easter eggs, as there are a bunch of visual references and nods to SpongeBob's lore in this episode. Here's the first one, roll the clip. So as you can see right here, I'm looping it, but Patrick can be seen eating a chocolate bar. But this isn't just any old chocolate bar, guys. Take a look at it and then take a look at this scene and it might seem a little familiar.
Did you say chocolate?
Yes, sir. With or without nuts.
Yeah, that's right, guys. The chocolate that Patrick's eating at the start of this episode is the same chocolate bar from Chocolate with Nuts. Here's a side-by-side. And dude, now I'm hungry. Deep fried crabs today. This chocolate bar. I'm gonna go get some food after this. But yeah, really cool reference, guys. And here's another one. Roll the clip. Alright, so let me explain. As you can see, there are 3 disgusting cockroaches right here, and they may seem a little bit familiar to you guys, as their design resembles the one that we seen back in the episode, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 4. Okay, and here's one more from this episode, and you all should right away get this reference. Roll the clip.
She says she's coming back home.
Home? We gotta get the place clean before Bunny gets back.
I ain't doing any cleaning.
We'll start with your filthy mouth, Dad.
Now listen, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and no matter what, Cartoon Corey loves ya and respects ya, but if you did not catch that Easter egg, you're kind of a fake SpongeBob fan, as you guys just heard, dolphin chirps were used as replacements for curse words, which is a direct reference to the iconic episode Sailor Mouth.
Than green grass through goose.
This next episode, Squirrel Jelly, has 2 Easter eggs in it. For the first one though, we have to rewind back to the episode Jellyfish Hunter. Now we haven't seen this character, who's known as Friend, for a very long time, but near the ending of Squirrel Jelly, look, he makes his first appearance in a very long time. Now the other Easter egg is related to a song, as if you listen closely in the scene I'm about to play, the song I Hate People, which is from another SpongeBob episode, SpongeBob's Place, can be heard in the background.
I can have the best of times all alone because I hate people.
In the episode Laundro Madness, SpongeBob and Squidward take a mundane errand, washing clothes at the laundromat, and turn it into a wacky monster movie that gleefully cleans up on references. The episode brings back the wash, the same bikini bottom laundromat that Mr. Krab, SpongeBob, and Patrick visited during their night out in Midlife Crustacean.
Hello, gang. SpongeBob's back.
Let's party!
Any party next door? Wait a minute. This is a laundromat.
I guess the writers in season 16 really like this episode, Midlife Crustacean. It's a good episode, man. Remember when Mr. Krabs stole his own mom's underwear? That's a story for another day, but let's keep it moving. Die Hard fans will remember that in that season 3 episode, the trio's big evening of fun ended up turning into doing laundry at the wash. As you guys have seen in my more recent videos, and even in this one, this seems to be a big trend in recent seasons, is them taking locations or characters from older episodes and making them a part of the world of SpongeBob instead of them just being one-off locations. For example, this wash place was just a one-off location in Midlife Crustacean, so it's cool that they're making it like a part of the lore. But let's keep it moving. As the episode progresses, and after an intense cycle, SpongeBob triumphantly presents Rube's freshly cleaned hat, and in that moment, he strikes a familiar pose. His face is the spitting image of the goofy, anticipatory grin he showed in the Krusty Krab training video episode, when waiting for the narrator to reveal the secret formula. It's the same wide-eyed, toothy face full of excitement, and fans of that classic training spoof will instantly recall SpongeBob quivering with that exact same expression. Here's a side-by-side, and yeah, like you can see it. This is a really cool reference, but of course I've got more. The mundane soon turns monstrous as an overloaded washing machine comes to life, assembling itself into a sudsy giant. Informing its body, it grabs odds and ends from around the laundromat, and one of those items had SpongeBob fans cheering: Patrick's high-heeled boots. Oh yeah. The washing machine yanks a pair of women's stiletto boots, and we see that they're the exact same that Patrick donned in this iconic scene from the original SpongeBob SquarePants movie. The monster uses them as one of its makeshift legs. It seems Patrick's fashion choice was memorable enough to haunt Bikini Bottom's laundry. And speaking of familiar faces, as the climax unfolds, none other than Fish Cowboy from the episode Boating Buddies saunters into the wash.
I think we all learned a lesson here today, and I wrote a song about it.
In Boating Buddies, this country western fish randomly appeared. Roll the footage.
I never will understand these city folk.
Laundro Madness brings him back for an encore, as at the end, as everyone celebrates defeating the laundry monster, this cowboy strums a guitar and sings a twangy tune called Wash and Dry. It's the same character and same gag, now hilariously repurposed for a laundromat victory song. It's an Easter egg that could easily fly under the radar, but for those who remember the random cowboy singer, it's a really cool surprise to see him return. It's random, but it's really cool. Finally though, the showrunners couldn't resist one more tongue-in-cheek reference. Throughout the episode, a bright orange and blue detergent box is visible right here, and its design and color scheme are unmistakably evoking from the famous Tide laundry detergent brand. And I mean, come on, this one's obvious.
Tilly, be nice. Leave that starched shirt alone.
By the end of this episode, the laundromat is saved, Squidward's shirt is clean, albeit with some battle scars, and the audience is left marveling at how many jokes and references were put in this episode. I mean, from bringing back the wash, an old location we haven't seen in years, to referencing SpongeBob's first movie, Laundro Madness is a great episode with lots of nostalgia. Let's talk about the episode SpongeBob and Patrick's Timeline Twista, which is a very ambitious time travel episode that celebrates SpongeBob's history. More importantly though, this episode has a lot of Easter eggs, like almost like 15 different Easter eggs in one episode. So let me take a breather. And let's get into this, guys. Here's the first one. All right, so as you guys can see, we're in SpongeBob's living room right now, all right? And there's something important here. There's two things here that are very important, and it's these two pictures. They may just seem like normal, ordinary pictures, but they're actually references to classic SpongeBob episodes. This one references the season 1 episode, Jellyfishing. The photo in the frame is a literal shot from that episode. And this other one references the season 2 episode, Frankendoodle, which as many of you guys know is when we were first introduced to Doodle Bob. It's really cool to see that even in season 16, there's references to season 1, 2, and 3. And there's gonna be a ton more. Let's keep it moving. Here's the next Easter egg. Take a look at this. This one is very similar to the last one, and it's very nostalgic, as there's a bunch of moments from older episodes that are shown in this book right here. This is SpongeBob's scrapbook. This moment right here is SpongeBob with the inflatable pants from the episode The Sponge Who Can Fly. Here's a side-by-side, really, really good reference reference, and this other one is showing SpongeBob and Patrick doing their iconic performance at the Bubble Bowl. This happened in Season 2's Band Geeks, and here's another side-by-side. Oh, also, listen to what Grandpat says right here.
I was gonna play the stock market and invest in goofy goobers. I know who wins the Bubble Bowl.
If you heard him correctly, he actually references the Bubble Bowl, making for another reference to an iconic episode. And this next Easter egg is very similar. It has to do with a certain location that we have not seen for a very long time. Take a look at this clip. If you're confused on what's going on here, I don't blame you, as this location hasn't appeared for like over 20 years. But this place right here is the Comedy Crab, and it's a stage show where comedians perform basically. And if you remember, it's where SpongeBob performed making fun of Sandy in this clip right here from the episode Squirrel Jokes. Roll the footage.
And what's up with that squirrel fur? I guess fleas need a home too, huh?
Squirrel fur!
Now that is a really, really cool reference. It's awesome to see a location like pop up again, especially when we haven't seen it for so long. It might not seem like a big deal, but these types of things help build the world of SpongeBob when we know that there's all of these locations within Bikini Bottom. But anyways, I'm rambling, and here's the next Easter egg. Roll the clip.
Hey, Squidina, the bus is here!
Now, I wasn't entirely sure about this next one, but after watching one of my favorite episodes, Rock Bottom, I know for sure that this is a reference right here. As just like SpongeBob from the episode Rock Bottom, Squidina tries to catch up with the bus, but she can't because the road is pointing up, of course, and this prevents her from going up. But more importantly, she also falls and climbs the same exact way that SpongeBob did in Rock Bottom, as you can see in this side-by-side. So this was a very clear and direct reference. Pretty cool, and guess what, guys? I have another Easter egg. So let me explain a little bit here. A big plot point of this episode is that the events of multiple other SpongeBob episodes are pretty much rewritten by the Patrick Star family, which includes Season 1's Help Wanted, the episode Ripped Pants, the episode Rock Bottom, as I just mentioned, and the episode Neptune's Spatula. And something I found really weird and interesting here is that the second half of the rewritten version of Help Wanted pretty much turns into an abridged version of the episode Plankton. For this one, you really have to watch the whole episode, and you really need to have watched Help Wanted and the episode Plankton to get this one, so I can't explain it much more. But this section of the episode actually has a whole other reference in it, and that's SpongeBob, Sandy, and Mr. Krabs' designs, as it seems that the animators went to replicate the animation style of the original episodes. For example, take a look at Patrick in this episode and how he looked in Rock Bottom or Neptune's Spatula. If you look, his eyebrows are shaped like M's, but if you look at a more recent shot of Patrick, they don't look like that. They kind of changed his design in modern SpongeBob, but they went back to his OG design for this episode. The same thing goes for Sandy. If we take a look at a modern shot of Sandy from any other episode, her design looks like this. But back in SpongeBob Season 1, she looked like this. Well, during the Ripped Pants segment of SpongeBob and Patrick's Timeline Twist-Up, look at Sandy. Her suit is depicted with 3 dots, just like the old school design. And this one is like really interesting, but in the original Ripped Pants episode, there's this shot where Sandy's missing her tail. And they actually referenced this in SpongeBob and Patrick's Timeline Twist-Up. As look, even in this modern shot, they didn't draw her tail. So pretty cool. But what's also really cool are the outfits that SpongeBob and Patrick are wearing in this scene right here. You have to be like a hardcore SpongeBob fan to catch this one because it's a reference to SpongeBob Season 7, but if you guys remember, in Season 7, there was this episode, SpongeBob's Last Stand. And if you look at the clip I'm about to play you, you're gonna notice something familiar. Yeah, those are the same outfits we just saw in SpongeBob and Patrick's Timeline Twist-Up. So even 10 plus seasons later, they're still referencing this, which is very, very, very cool. And I have another reference like this that's very similar that can be found in this next scene right here. It takes place during the Rock Bottom part of the episode. This is another obscure reference, and it's to the season 11 episode Ink Lemonade, which isn't really that old of an episode, but there's still an Easter egg here. In that episode, we were introduced to this character right here, Mildred, and she actually makes her first appearance in like 7 years since 2018 in this episode. SpongeBob has been doing this a lot lately. For example, if we look at a character like Lady Upturn, she originally was like a very passive character, but she now pops up all the time. So who knows, maybe we'll see Mildred more often as well. And this reappearance might be SpongeBob building up the SpongeBob world even more, like I was suggesting earlier. But anyways, here's another Easter egg.
Next. Next. Next.
If you're confused, some of these characters right here, this guy, we've seen them before. They're not just regular rock bottomites. If we rewind back to the season 11 episode, The Night Patty, in this episode, SpongeBob and Patrick decide to do something we haven't really seen before. After a trip at Glove World, they decide to grab a bite to eat at the Krusty Krab, but it's nighttime.
Howling rings, sucker shakes, boogers, crawly fries.
Give us the works!
One great Pacific garbage patch!
Order up!
Turns out that the nighttime attracts a completely different crowd at the Krusty Krab, including some of these guys right here. And here's a side-by-side, these characters actually appeared in the episode we're already talking about, SpongeBob and Patrick's Timeline Twista. They can be seen right here in Rock Bottom, which is a fitting place for them. And yeah, it's kind of weird seeing season 11 episodes get Easter eggs now, but I mean, like, season 11's kind of old now. Like, let me check, 1 second. I'm literally gonna do a Google search, 1 second. 2019, so it's been 6 years since SpongeBob season 11. Crazy to see that we're getting Easter eggs referencing episodes from that season now. But here's another Easter egg.
All we have to do is...
I can't believe it ain't Squidina! I was just starting to remember I had a sister.
So as you guys just heard, Patrick just said, I was just starting to remember I have a sister. And if this sounds familiar, it's because Patrick has said this exact same line before. And to find it, we have to go all the way back to season 2. See, this is where I expect Easter eggs. Those seasons are old enough where I understand there being Easter eggs. But yeah, we have to go back to season 2, more specifically the episode Something Smells. As a listen, Patrick says like the exact same line in this episode.
Oh my gosh, if my sister finds out, oh wait, I don't have a sister.
It's pretty cool to hear him say the same thing like 20 plus years later, and I could ramble on about that, but we got more cool Easter eggs to cover, so here's the next one. Roll the footage.
Let's get you in bed, mister, and fix you up.
My kingly docket is incredibly full today. But I'm far too ill to complete my royal duties.
You have to be obsessed just like I am to catch that Easter egg, but if we rewind back to season 6's The Clash of Triton, we see Triton and Queen Anthrite. This is how they look, especially in that season 6 episode, Remember, as if we go back to that clip I just played, look, they're shown right here and are pictured. Now this one requires some elite ball knowledge for sure, alright? But if you watch the Patrick Star Show, a running joke from the episode Pearl Wants to Be a Star is that Patrick's grandfather, Grandpat, and Mr. Krabs have a rivalry. For example, take a look at this clip from Pearl Wants to Be a Star.
About time you showed up, Krabs. You know why the Navy is always late? They gotta wait for the tides to wash them ashore.
Well, during SpongeBob and Patrick's Timeline Twist Up, we get this scene where it's literally brought up and referenced, which is really cool because this shows continuity. Roll the footage.
I hope it's not a problem working for your old frenemy.
I'm not working for you, Krabs. I'm working near you.
This is one of the biggest things I've seen in season 16 is the SpongeBob team is doing a bunch of like little things to add more continuity to the spin-offs like Camp Coral, the Patrick Star Show, the movies, etc. But yeah, here's another one. Roll the footage.
Formula acquired.
All hail the Grand Patty! Patty!
Did you guys catch it? Well, Karen's analyzer, this thing right here, is the exact same one from the episode Plankton, the season 1 episode Plankton. I love this type of attention to detail, and I mean, look at this side by side, they're nearly identical. Also, we don't need to play a clip for this, but something I want to point out, if you ever watch this episode, is if you pay attention to Karen's personality, it's a lot more in line with her earliest appearances. They've evolved her character over the years, but this episode is definitely paying a homage to the original Karen from season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And okay, there's one more for this episode, and then we can finally move over to like another episode. Can you believe they put this many Easter eggs in one episode? Considering the plot of this episode, I guess it makes sense. But anyways, I need to explain. My phone went off, but I'm gonna keep it in the video still, because I'm real. I'm not like one of those crappy AI SpongeBob channels. But yeah, I need to explain this one. But basically, a while back, there was an event called the Tidal Zone, okay? And basically, there were 3 episodes from SpongeBob season 13 where the Patrick Star Show and the SpongeBob regular cartoon had a crossover. More specifically, Grandpat, who would go through this wormhole right here to different times.
Sweet Neptune! Have I found the beginning of the universe?
Now, if you pay attention during this episode, SpongeBob and Patrick's timeline twist up, I feel like I've said that 1,000 times already, but in this episode, whenever the Star family travels through time, that exact same wormhole animation is reused. And I think this is how it's going to be forever now. I think whenever there's a time travel storyline in SpongeBob, they're always going to use this exact wormhole animation. But anyways, that one was kind of boring. Hopefully it was so boring that you're sleeping right now. You should be sleeping by now. But let's head over to another episode, guys, and I've saved some of the crazier Easter eggs for later on. That way, if you're still up, I still keep you guys entertained, all right? In the episode near Mint Plankton, Plankton concocts a new scheme by shrinking down and disguising himself as a collectible figurine. And why? You guys know why. He wants to snag one of those delicious Krabby Patties without Mr. Krabs noticing. Very clever, Plankton. Instead, though, he ends up in the clutches of Bubble Bass, who is an avid collector of limited edition superhero memorabilia. This guy is obsessed. And we're gonna get into the Easter eggs, but I gotta say, I do like how they changed Bubble Bass's character over the years. Originally, he was just this rude dude who liked pickles, but they've kind of turned him into the nerdy character who's obsessed with nerd stuff. Anyways, though, this episode's premise naturally sets the stage for a literal treasure trove of different SpongeBob nostalgia and Easter eggs. For example, when Mr. Krabs cashes in on the collector craze by selling special edition Krabby Patties, the varieties on offer are a delightful deep cut from the season 9 episode Munity on the Krusty. In that earlier episode, it's actually really old now, from like 2015 I think, but in this episode, SpongeBob introduced novelty patties like the Hattie Patty, a Krabby Patty that you wear as a hat. There's also the Chatty Patty, a talking patty for teens, and the Bratty Patty, a kitty patty with a backwards baseball cap.
And he's the man who brought you the double Krabby Patty, and the Krabby Patty with cheese, and the Bratty Patty for kids.
This patty's stealing my style. I'm the only one who's allowed to wear a backwards baseball cap, guys. Come on. Surely enough, though, near Mint Plankton shows Bubble Bass proudly adding a new pickle patty to his collection, right alongside his Chatty, Hattie, and Bratty patties. The very same whimsical burgers first seen during Munity on the Krusty. This is a clever callback that rewards eagle-eyed fans. And even Bubble Bass's line, "I'll place it next to my Chatty, Fatty, and Bratty patties," directly references those legendary novelties. It's not like they just showed them, he literally refers to them by name, so we know this is an Easter egg. But let's keep it moving, as Bubble Bass's basement itself is a shrine to SpongeBob lore. Viewers can spot a statue of SpongeBob dressed as a certain superhero. Take a look at this clip from the episode Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 5, more specifically the superhero that SpongeBob turns into. This guy right here is the Quickster, and we haven't really seen him since Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 5. We've seen some of the other superheroes in this episode. For example, in Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 5, Sandy dresses up as Miss Appear, another superhero that can turn invisible. But we've actually seen Miss Appear a couple of times since then. For example, in the episode Delivery of Doom, or in the episode Appointment TV, as you can see here. But the Quickster, we haven't seen this character for a long time, but that all changed in Near Mint Plankton, as look, amongst Bubble Bass's collectibles, there's this statue of SpongeBob SpongeBob dressed up as the Quickster. This blink and you'll miss it background gag firmly anchors the episode in SpongeBob's wider universe. And who knows, maybe we'll see the Quickster again in the future. I would love to see another episode where they all dress up as superheroes, but I've got more, and the Easter eggs are gonna get even crazier as we go. That way, if you guys are still awake, you haven't fallen asleep yet, at least I can keep you guys entertained. But you should be asleep already, bro. What are you doing? You got work or school tomorrow. Go to sleep. I love you. I'm trying to support you here. But anyways, here's the next episode.
Have you finished those errands?
Let's talk about a season 2 episode. How about Squid's Day Off? Let's get right into it. Here's the first mistake.
Okay, Mr. Krabs. Get plenty of rest, and if things don't seem right, come back.
Thanks, Doc.
Did you guys catch it? No? Well, here's a little hint, all right? It has to do with the sign on the hospital, all right? I'm zooming in. Did you guys catch it yet? Yeah, they completely misspelled emergency, with them spelling it as E-N-E-E-R-E-N-C-Y. This is a really, really bad mistake. It's not like they got one letter wrong. Like, they completely butchered the spelling of the entire word, but I can actually tell you guys why. Back during this season, SpongeBob episodes were animated in Korea by Rough Draft Korea. So it was probably a language situation where whoever did the animation here didn't know how to spell the word in English. Mistakes happen. Anyways though, here's mistake number 2.
I caught you now!
You need the eyes of an eagle to catch this one. But when Squidward eventually makes it to the Krusty Krab for the final time, the road and sand outside switch colors just as he barges through the door. I'm showing it right here to make it clear it only happens right as he goes through the door. Before this, it looks like this, which is how it's supposed to look. But I'm showing it in slow motion, and yeah, that's the wrong color. 3 mistakes in 1 episode. That's pretty bad, man. And we've got more, guys. Let's head over to our next episode. And stay tuned, guys, because I'm saving the spiciest mistake for the ending of the video. We've got some cool ones on the way and random mistake of the day. So yeah, let's keep it moving.
Hey, Squidward, wanna play?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Dude, who remembers Bubble Buddy? I loved this episode as a kid. Dude is such an iconic character, Bubble Buddy. Fun fact, he actually reappears in later seasons, just saying. But we're not here for Easter eggs. We have videos on that, by the way. We're here for mistakes. And Bubble Buddy from season 2 has a couple mistakes, so roll the footage.
Oh no, Squidward, wait! There's cheese on these patties!
And?
Bubble Buddy's lactose intolerant. He can't eat cheese.
Yeah, so this first one is just I don't know how we even caught it, but in the clips you guys just saw when SpongeBob tells Squidward that Bubble Buddy is lactose intolerant, part of his top right corner detaches from his body. And this one's just a really weird mistake. It's a nitpick. Who cares? No one would ever notice this while watching the episode, but it is a mistake. And here's another one from the same episode.
Bubble Buddy says it tastes funny. What do you think?
Mr. Krabs!
It's time to end it!
No, I won't let you! Here we go! You'll never catch us now!
So this one's interesting. Let's take a look at Squidward over here. We'll look at this footage from the episode Culture Shock, and you'll notice Squidward has 6 limbs, all right? He has 4 legs and 2 arms. This is canonical, all right? It's been like this since the beginning of SpongeBob lore. But in this episode, when SpongeBob inflates Bubble Buddy to escape the angry crowd that want to kill Bubble Buddy, look, Squidward is just randomly drawn with a 5th leg. When, as I just mentioned, he's supposed to have 4 legs, so they just randomly drew an extra one, and that is a mistake. I'm sure Squidward isn't complaining. Having an extra limb is probably very nice, but I don't know how Nickelodeon feels about that one.
Can I have the secret formula?
No!
Okay.
But he was persistent.
Pretty please?
We've been doing a lot of season 2 and 3 episodes in this video, so let's just keep it going. Here's another one, Plankton's Army. Some season 3 goodness. I love this episode. Let's get into the first mistake. All right, let's do it.
Today is the 25th anniversary of the first time me archenemy Plankton ever tried to steal me secret Krabby Patty formula. Welcome to the Krusty Krab, sir. May I help you?
Did you guys catch it? Well, when Mr. Krabs says today is the 25th anniversary of the first time Plankton's ever tried to finesse him, he doesn't say that exactly, but you get the idea. The door to Mr. Krabs' office can be seen. It's shown right here, all right? And this is accurate. Mr. Krabs has always had his office door right here. However, though, when this robot shows up, the door is just magically gone. Like, it's just not drawn in this one shot right here, which is really weird and lazy. But to make things funny, when Mr. Krabs and Squidward eventually walk outside, look, the door is back. So it was there, then it's gone, and then it's back again. Hey, mistakes happen. At least we can get a laugh out of it, right, guys? Well, we're definitely gonna get a laugh out of this next episode's mistakes because boy, oh boy, is it rough. Let's keep it rolling.
Ew! Why am I wearing this color of shame?
I think it looks good on you.
Some of my favorite SpongeBob episodes, like my top 10 favorite episodes, are these specials. They're way different than regular episodes because they're longer and they usually have like way more plot. But of course, just like regular episodes, they also have mistakes. And the episode Swamp Mates is no exception. I'm breaking that season 2 and 3 streak right now. This is a more modern episode of SpongeBob. But hey, season 12 is still good. But anyways, this episode Swamp Mates has a mistake. Roll the footage.
Only escape! If only I had something large and buoyant!
You guys may have caught it, but when Bubble Bass says our only escape, look, his eyes are the same color as his glasses. Normally, Bubble Bass has like regularly white eyes, and even when he's wearing his glasses, when you look through them, his eyes are still white. But yeah, in this one shot, it's just all the same color, and it's not that big of a deal, but it looks really weird. Don't worry though, guys, the mistakes coming up are a lot worse than this one. So, let's keep it moving.
SpongeBob is the only guy I know that can have fun with a jellyfish for 12 hours!
Alright, we're heading back over to season 2 and 3, which makes me a very, very happy boy. You guys know I love those seasons. The episode is Jellyfish Jam, and I love this episode. Here's the first mistake, guys. Roll that clip.
Hey, take it easy. Okay, I'll talk to him. Squidward, would it be possible to play your clarinet a little better?
So as you guys know, SpongeBob's living room is on the bottom floor of his house. All right, we know this. This is just a fact. Now, in this episode, in the clips you guys just saw, we have that moment where Squidward is playing his clarinet. It's not so good, and SpongeBob tells him to play his clarinet better. Savage. SpongeBob, you are a savage. Now, as you can see, SpongeBob is in his living room, but when he pokes his head out to talk to Squidward, he appears to be in a window that belongs to the second floor. But then when he goes out of the window, he's back in his living room again, which should be on the first floor. So this is totally a mistake here. How did SpongeBob go all the way up here if he was in his living room? That's not where his living room is. Up there is where his bedroom is. I'm definitely overthinking this. This is like a typical case of cartoon logic. It is a cartoon after all, but still technically a mistake. And don't worry, guys. This next one from the same episode is a lot worse.
We'll just keep you right here. Quit worrying, Gary. He'll be just fine. Good night, everybody.
This one is very, very, very weird, and I can't blame the animators, to be honest with you. So, in the clips you guys just saw, SpongeBob and Gary go to sleep after partying all night with the jellyfish. Like, they were turning up. Like, I personally want to party with some jellyfish after this. Like, they know how to put on a party. But anyways, SpongeBob and Gary go to sleep, all right? And if we look at SpongeBob's bed, his green bathrobe is just hanging from one side of his bed. But the problem is there is no hook on SpongeBob's bed. We've seen SpongeBob's bed in many other episodes, and the bamboo parts of his bed frame never have a hook on them. It's like his green bathrobe is just like standing magically beside his bed. It shouldn't be hanging there because there's no hook. Like I said, it's a weird one, but it is 100% a mistake. And I mean, come on, you guys know exactly what I'm going to say. I end every section like this. There's more. Let's head over to another episode and cover more mistakes. And I wasn't lying about saving the worst for the end.
We're gonna make this kid honorary town rookie of the day.
For he's a jolly good rookie. But he's a jolly good rookie.
F is for friends that do stuff together. U is for you and me. I love this episode. Fun. I can't believe I just sung for you guys, but such a good episode. Before we get into it though, here are some fun clips from this episode. It's a really good episode. And then we're getting right to the mistakes. And guys, trust me, there are really bad mistakes in this episode.
Hey!
Okay, it's time for mistakes. It's what you guys clicked on the video for after all. There are a bunch in this episode, but we're gonna focus on one because it's really, 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 really bad. Roll the footage.
How can you not see it?
Okay, I see it. It's a Krabby Patty, okay?
So as you guys saw at the very end of the episode, Plankton's plan is exposed, all right? Now, in the clip where he reveals that he took the Krabby Patty, if we look at his bottom legs, all right, and you'll notice that Plankton's legs just keep on disappearing and reappearing. It's really weird. Now, this right here is an animation glitch. This is like a bad one where you can tell during like the rendering process, something messed up, dude, because his legs just keep on flickering in and out and it just looks very, very strange.
Behold, SpongeBob! Before laughter, there was the pre-hysterical period.
Okay, we're heading back over to season 12. The episode is Insecurity Guards, and pretty much SpongeBob and Patrick volunteer as guards at the museum. And I will say they're not the best at it. Here's a little compilation of them just not being the best guards at a museum. And then we're gonna get right into the mistakes.
Will those kids be okay in there?
Oh, sure. Mummy loves kids. I think this is yours. Huh?
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely not hiring SpongeBob or Patrick if I need a guard. I also don't know if I'm gonna hire the animators of this episode because they made a massive mistake. Roll the clip.
Why won't you work? Huh?
You guys may have caught it, but throughout this episode, SpongeBob and Patrick wear this. What's really important here is Patrick. Look at him in his fresh little security guard outfit, my boy. Now, throughout this whole episode, this is what Patrick is wearing while at the museum, all right? Especially during this scene, just before they get swallowed and spit out by a woolly mollusk. Now, if you look closely, when they first arrive at the woolly mollusk, they're wearing their security guard outfits, then they get put in his mouth and spit out. But when they're spit out, look, Patrick is randomly back in his regular clothes. And then when they land, he's back in his security guard outfit. So you can see the animators made a mistake. During the animation of them being spit out of the woolly mollusk, they forgot to draw Patrick in his security guard outfit, making for a really bad mistake. It's pretty interesting, but you know what's also interesting? The random mistake of the day. That's right, it's time for the random mistake of the day, where we talk about a random cartoon suggested by you guys and talk about mistakes in that cartoon, and then we'll go right back to SpongeBob. Today we're gonna do another Nickelodeon classic, Hey Arnold. And to all of our younger viewers, don't worry, we're gonna go back to SpongeBob, but this was a massive Nickelodeon Nicktoon show, and the mistake itself is like really, really bad. It's worse than any of the SpongeBob mistakes we covered today. The episode is Eugene's bike, and let's see if you guys can spot it. And here's a hint, it has to do with this character right here named Stinky. And roll the clip.
Okay, but you don't know what you're missing.
Look, you guys! I got a new scab! If you squint real hard, it looks like Texas.
That's nice, Sheena.
It happens right at the beginning of the episode, but when we see Stinky standing with Joey and Park, look, for about a couple of frames, his entire right hand is just missing. Like, these dudes just did not draw his hand at all. Like, I'm zooming in, no hand there. And again, it isn't for like a couple of seconds, like it's like this for a while. So yeah, massive mistake, and let's get back to SpongeBob.
I was a wimp before Anchor Arms. Now I'm a jerk and everybody loves me. So order now, wimp!
Yeah, this episode is iconic. I'm talking about Muscle Bob Buff Pants. You guys know Cartoon Corey loves season 1, that Steven Hillenburg era. Here's the thing though, guys, even an episode as good as this one has a mistake. Roll the footage.
SpongeBob?
Ahoy, Mr. Krabs!
Mother of pearl!
This one's pretty straightforward. Hopefully you guys caught it. If not though, Cartoon Corey's got you covered. But while Mr. Krabs is sweeping in front of the Krusty Krab, our boy has a coloring error, as look at his sleeve, it's red. Normally Mr. Krabs looks like this and his sleeves are white, as you guys know. So this right here is totally a mistake. Like, Mr. Krabs, what's going on, man? Okay, to be fair, I'm zooming in and as you can see, only half of it's actually red. The other half is the color it's supposed to be, but this is still an error. And we've got more. Here's another one from Muscle Bob Buff Pants.
You're seeing
secret workout? What is it?
I know.
Now, this one isn't as simple as that last one, so you guys need to listen very closely, but when SpongeBob reveals his secret workout to the others, we can see Larry the Lobster in Incidental 24 right here, and behind them is Incidental 24Q. Remember this, okay? It's the three of them with Incidental 24Q behind them. Like seconds later, guys, in the same scene, Incidental 24Q gets replaced by a completely different other background fish being Incidental 24B. Now, this on its own is a mistake because it happens in a matter of seconds. The fish behind them wouldn't transform into an entirely different fish. But there's another mistake here, as take a look at Incidental 24B's actual design. Look at this PNG of him. He's this color, all right? He looks like this. But in this episode, when he randomly replaces Incidental 24Q, he's colored incorrectly. As a matter of fact, he's colored the same color palette as Incidental 24Q. So just wow. Man, 2 mistakes in one scene, crazy. But let's head over to another episode of SpongeBob, guys, with even more wild mistakes. Here's one that you guys probably weren't expecting, but in the new SpongeBob movie, the SpongeBob movie Search for SquarePants, if we look at one of the promotional posters, we can see that SpongeBob and Patrick are mimicking the exact pose that Jack and Rose make in James Cameron's 1997 film Titanic. Similarly, said poster's tagline, "Near, far, wherever pirates are," is a parody of the line, "Near, far, wherever you are," from the song My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion, which was the main theme of Titanic. Hopefully we'll have more Easter eggs from this one once it comes out. Next up, we're going to talk about the episode Slumber Party Stars. And here's the thing, this is actually like technically the Patrick Star Show episode, but the reference is to OG SpongeBob, and it's really, really cool. For it to make sense though, we have to go back in time a little bit, guys, and go back to the episode Sailor Mouth. Can you believe that this episode is like 20 plus years old? It's from season 2. And in this episode, we see SpongeBob and Patrick play a very specific game, Eels and Escalators.
Hooray! Escalators!
Now, this game has popped up multiple times in other episodes over the years, but even in season 16, it's still popping up. As look, in Slumber Party Stars, the die that Cecil holds up is the exact same one from Eels and Escalators. Here's a side-by-side, and yeah, what a cool Easter egg, right? These ones are awesome. Another cool reference in this episode is what Patrick is seen wearing during the scavenger hunt scene. Some of you guys may be too young to catch this reference, but Patrick is actually wearing Elmer Fudd's hat. He was a character from the Looney Tunes, and here's a side-by-side, and yeah, it's like pretty much the exact same hat. But let's head over to another episode. The episode, The Creepy Krab, brings a spooky vibe to the Krusty Krab, and even its title, like the title of this episode, is actually a reference in itself. Longtime SpongeBob fans and nerds like me who need to touch grass might recall that back in season 2, there was an episode called Bossy Boots, and in this episode, SpongeBob brainstorms a bunch of new names for the Krusty Krab. And listen closely to these clips, you'll hear something familiar.
How about the chaotic crab?
How about the kissy crab?
The creepy crab. The killer crab.
As you just heard, the Creepy Krab was actually one of SpongeBob's suggestions. And you have to think how crazy it is to go back and reference this. Like, Bossy Boots is an iconic episode, but it's also like a random season 2 episode. So the fact that they went and got this reference and decided to include it in this episode is really cool. Now on the episode's plot, Slappy, who's Nosferatu's eccentric assistant for those who don't know, this guy right here, he gets hired by Mr. Krabs and decides to give the Krusty Krab a full haunted house makeover for an evening. And this is where we can find the other Easter egg, or I guess it's more of a reference. Fittingly, Slappy's friend group of monsters comes in to dine. And it's easy to miss, but each one of them is actually a nod to classic horror icons. There's Dracula, an invisible man, a Frankenstein-type creature, a gooey blob reminiscent of literally the Blob, and a howling wolfman, among others. Seeing all these familiar monster archetypes, sharing Krabby Patties is a treat for any horror movie fan, and it's also just a really cool reference. And of course, I've got more. The episode Heart of Garbage, another one from season 16, plunges Bikini Bottom into dystopian chaos when Squidward's home becomes ground zero for an ever-growing mountain of trash. Ew. Like, look at this, I can smell it from here. It reminds me of SpongeBob's breath back in the episode Something Smells. It also reminds me of something else, but we'll get to that in a moment. In a storyline that is part parody, part homage, Squidward Squidward accidentally angers the garbage men and ends up literally trapped in garbage for 6 months.
The trash goes in the truck, not on my lawn. Just put the garbage where it's supposed to go.
Dude, imagine being trapped in garbage for that long. Oh my god. Just imagine how bad Squidward smells right now. But more importantly, guys, this is actually a reference to something. This riffs on Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness and its famous film adaptation, Apocalypse Now. The entire episode functions as a playful underwater echo of that classic tale. And I mean, just look at the plot. SpongeBob and Patrick must venture through a garbage jungle to find Squidward, much like Marlowe taking a journey up a river to find Kurtz.
You made it this far, but you still must pass the booby traps up ahead.
Please!
This homage is acknowledged right in the title as well. I mean, it's called Heart of Garbage, which is a direct spoof of Heart of Darkness. Also, fun fact, longtime viewers will recall that this isn't the first time that Squidward's house has been overtaken by trash. Back in season 7's Keep Bikini Bottom Beautiful, SpongeBob once helped Squidward avoid littering fines by moving all of his litter to his house, thus turning his house into a house of garbage, complete with trash furniture and a trash bed. I don't think that bed would be very comfy, guys. Like right now, you're probably in bed watching this video. Imagine if you were in that garbage bed, you would not be getting any sleep. But anyways, Heart of Garbage hilariously encapsulates that concept. But instead of a one-off slight gag, the entire interior of Squidward's real house becomes a sprawling garbage labyrinth that SpongeBob and Patrick have to navigate. In the season 16 episode, Exchange Student Driver, Mrs. Puff finally finds a clever, well, kind of extreme solution to get a break from SpongeBob's never-ending boating school failures. She decides to enroll him in a foreign exchange program and ships him off to a distant driving school in Clopnod. If you've heard of Clopnod before, it's because this is actually like kind of a reference. If we go back to the Patrick Star Show episode, Clopnodian Heritage Festival, we were introduced to this whole culture.
I'm so happy to be sharing my Clopnodian culture with my family.
According to this pamphlet, Clopnod is the silliest place in the ocean.
So it's cool that that was referenced here. This is another example of them, you know, expanding the universe and connecting the spin-offs to the main show. This location has appeared tons of times in the Patrick Star Show, but this was the first time it ever appeared in SpongeBob. And it kind of makes it now like 100% a canon location. But let's move on.
Buzz, 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 buzz.
He took off his pants.
I'll give him a week.
I'll give him 11 minutes.
Nature Pants is a really good episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob decides to live with the jellyfish. Like he literally moves out of his pineapple home and lives in jellyfish fields. Our man becomes homeless by choice. Now I've got 2 mistakes for you guys in this episode and they're really, really bad. Like I said, I saved the worst for the end. Here's the first one, and guys, I want to see if you can spot it before I reveal it. So comment it if you figure it out before I reveal the actual mistake. All right, here's the clip.
Welcome home, SpongeBob!
It's at the ending of the episode, but when SpongeBob finally comes home and they're celebrating for about 1 frame, Patrick is missing his whole mouth. Like, how do you forget to draw somebody's mouth? Especially a hungry boy like Patrick who's always eating. Like, give that boy his mouth back. Just a really bad mistake, guys. And here's mistake number 2 from the same episode.
Here, Patrick, have a Krabby Patty. There he is, Patrick. Say you're live.
So let's take a look at Sandy Cheeks over here, all right? And one thing we'll notice is that her neck is brown. It's the same color as like her brown fur. Like look at the color of her fur right here. I'm arrowing it. That is the color that her neck always is, as you can see in these images. But when Sandy says, there he is, Patrick, if we look, her neck is actually the same color as her cheeks, which is a major mistake. It's supposed to be the brown color. So obviously, Employee of the Month is up there as one of my favorite episodes. Even an episode like this, though, has mistakes, and let's expose them. Here's the first mistake, guys. Roll that clip. Did you guys catch it? Because this one's really bad. In the shot you guys just saw where Squidward is like brushing his teeth, if we look at him in the mirror, all right, we're looking at the reflection of Squidward in the mirror, we can see that Squidward's nose goes over top of the bubbles. That's how the reflection looks. But if we look at Squidward, like the actual version of Squidward, we can see that the animators messed up because those bubbles are in front of his nose. Remember, in the reflection, the bubbles are behind his nose. So like real life Squidward, the bubbles should also be behind his nose, but they're in front. So really weird mistake right here. I definitely rambled and over-explained it, but you guys get it now. And here's another mistake from the same episode.
Honey.
Okay, so for this one, we need to go back a little bit, all right? We're gonna go to any random episode of SpongeBob and take a look at the doors of the Krusty Krab. And what we'll notice is that the handles to these doors are always like gold or brown, all right? They're always this color right here. Well, in Employee of the Month, when Squidward and SpongeBob barge into the Krusty Krab when they're racing near the ending of the episode, look at the handles of the Krusty Krab doors. They are completely incorrect. They're for some reason like clear and see-through or transparent, when as I already showed you guys, they're supposed to be gold or brown. I'm totally a nerd for even catching it, but yeah, totally a mistake. And stay tuned, guys, because the mistakes are going to get crazier as we go. Let's head over to our next episode.
I won't take my hands off this bike, I promise.
I'm doing it!
I didn't let go!
Next up is the episode Ride Patrick Ride, which is all about Patrick learning how to ride a bike. He isn't very good at it at first, but he eventually gets pretty good. Here's some clips from the episode, really funny.
Hi, Mrs. Puff.
Hello, SpongeBob.
You know, I'm having a little trouble trying to teach Patrick how to ride a bicycle. Have you ever had trouble teaching a student, Mrs. Puff?
You know, of all people, I don't think SpongeBob should have been the one trying to teach Patrick how to ride anything, considering this dude can't even ride a boat. I know he can ride a bike in the episode, but SpongeBob, you're not a very good teacher. Anyways, though, let's get into the first mistake from this episode. This one is very easy to miss, and I'm very proud of myself for finding it. Roll the footage.
In honor of becoming the greatest bicyclist who has ever lived, I present you the key to Bikini Bottom.
So as you can see in this scene, Patrick's bike, the handles, right, have these like ribbons or beamers coming out of it, right? These stringy things coming out. It's red, it's right here, I'm circling it. Remember this, as during this scene where Patrick is getting a key from City Hall due to saving a bunch of people, it's so funny, those ribbons are not on the handles of his bike. And the reason this is really a mistake is seconds later in this same scene, look, he has the ribbons. In this scene, the lady with the keys right beside him. But if we rewind for just a couple of seconds, in this shot where it's zoomed out, he doesn't have the ribbons on his handles. I'm so proud of myself for catching this one.
Legend has it that their curiosity got the best of them. And they pulled the plug. The entire ocean rushed into the drain and sucked those two kids right down with it.
The Main Drain is an interesting season 7 episode. I mean, it's not a bad one, it's not a good one at the same time, but it does have 2 mistakes. Take a look at the first one.
Safety!
What in Neptune's bathtub do you think you're doing, lad?
If you caught that one, I'm very proud of you, but take a look at this lever right here beside this freezer. Remember it as it disappears when SpongeBob puts the danger sign on the floor. First it's there, as you can see here, but then when SpongeBob puts this danger sign down, it's just gone. Almost as if the animators forgot to draw it the second time. Pretty weird, but wait until you hear mistake number 2.
Why don't I wait? One sec. Time for a scary story, boys.
Where is the main drain, Mr. Krabs?
Mistake number 2 is just as weird. So, when Mr. Krabs turns off the lights, there's this light switch right here on the left side, alright? But when Mr. Krabs eventually finishes his story, the light switch suddenly changes positions. Yeah, very messy scene. It's not that big of a deal, and the mistakes I'm going to be covering later on in this video are much better than this one, but it's still a mistake, guys. Anyways, let's keep it moving.
So, how long are you visiting for? 7, 5, maybe 3 minutes?
We're here to stay, son.
We're heading over to modern SpongeBob with this next one, as it's a season 14 episode, but that ain't gonna stop me from exposing mistakes. I've already found one in this episode. It's not that big of a deal, but I'm sure you guys will be able to catch it. So, roll that clip.
So long, son.
Turns out the formula's worth something after all.
Did you guys catch it? Well, this is a classic mistake. The Krusty Krab and Chum Bucket are directly across from each other on this street right here. And then this street breaks off into 2 paths, one path leading to the Krusty Krab and the other path leading to the Chum Bucket, as you can see in the clips I just showed you. Well, in Blood is Thicker Than Grease, at the very end of the episode, we get a shot where we should be able to see the Krusty Krab, but it's just blatantly missing from across the street. Like, how does this happen? The animators just completely forgot to draw the Krusty Krab, making for a minor, but at least very funny mistake. And there's plenty more where that came from, guys.
Well, golly! Randy says the rodeo's come to town.
Championship title? For what?
You got cotton in your ears?
No, it's not cotton. It's actually an old moldy piece of Krabby Patty.
Up next is the season 7 episode Rodeo Days, an episode where SpongeBob has to save Sandy. But what I'm gonna do is save you guys from watching the episode and just show you the mistakes. Here's the first one.
Sandy! Oh, it's not opening.
Now this one is very hard to catch. You gotta pay close attention, okay? But after SpongeBob says, it's not opening, there is a white spot that flashes for a split second under his right arm. Not that big of a deal, I'll admit, but it's still there and it's still a bit of an animation mistake. A very forgivable one, but hey, it's still a mistake. And guys, there's one more in this episode, but stay tuned as the next episode has a wild mistake.
Did we save Sandy?
No, Patrick, we didn't.
This one is just like really funny, okay? So hear this one out. As we've seen in the episode, SpongeBob and all of these sea creatures are not able to breathe in Texas because they're sea creatures. They need to be in water or they die. I mean, we even see what happens to them in Tea at the Tree Dome with Sandy when SpongeBob and Patrick go in the Tree Dome without helmets. They like almost die. This is a big part of SpongeBob lore or canon, but if you watch the episode Rodeo Days, SpongeBob and all of the sea creatures, despite not being able to breathe in Texas, just continue to live their lives normally as if there's nothing wrong. These guys would die. But anyways, let's head over to another episode, guys. These upcoming mistakes are going to blow your mind.
Yeah, it's me, SpongeBob, fry cook extraordinaire.
Hello.
I know your secret.
What? Who told you?
Oh, a little cashier told me. Follow me.
Yeah, whatever you say, man.
Moron.
I've said this many times before, but SpongeBob Season 6 has a lot of hit or miss episodes, and one of those episodes that's right in the middle, it's just mid, it ain't bad, it ain't good, is Gullible Pants. This episode does have some good in it, especially the dancing scenes of SpongeBob, so take a look at these really funny clips of SpongeBob dancing. And then it's time for some mistakes. Then we're gonna be exposing some mistakes, alright? Here's the funny clips though first.
What the? SpongeBob dancing like a goofball?
And a hey, and a ho, and a hey, and a ho, and a hey ho, ha ho, hey ho, ha ho.
All right, it's time for the mistakes, guys. Let's do the mistakes.
452, 453, 454.
So, in the opening shot of the Krusty Krab dining area, we can see Incidental 114 right here. And my boy is dressed up in a light blue shirt, looking fresh, Incidental 114. But as the scene progresses, moments later, when Mr. Krabs looks at the dining like a periscope, Incidental 114 has completely changed his drip and is now wearing like a brown-green shirt. There's another one in this episode that's fairly common in SpongeBob, so you guys should easily be able to catch this one. Roll the footage.
Come on, let's go.
You don't want... I miss this.
What's he doing? He's dancing!
This one is a classic SpongeBob mistake. So when SpongeBob stops the customers with his awesome dancing, the chum bucket, which normally is across the street, as you guys can see in this shot, normally the chum bucket is directly across from the Krusty Krab. But in this shot of Gullible Pants, not only is the chum bucket, but also the path to the chum bucket, they're both missing from across the street, which is totally a mistake. It's a common mistake, but it's totally a mistake.
Robot, oh my gosh!
We have one of my favorite season 3 episodes, Crabborg, where SpongeBob convinces Squidward that Mr. Krabs could be a robot. It's a really good episode, but of course, even a good episode like this has mistakes. There's actually 2, and here's the first one.
I guess I'm a little bit jumpy. I keep thinking robots are taking over the world, probably on account of this movie I watched last night where robots take over the world. I even asked Gary if he was a robot. Pretty funny, huh?
Hilarious.
Yo, did you guys catch that? Don't worry, Cartoon Corey's got you covered. Let's expose this mistake. It's very easy to miss, but if you guys look closely during this scene right here and we zoom in on SpongeBob's pant leg, more specifically his left one, the animators messed up as the left line of SpongeBob's left pant leg overlaps onto the tray that SpongeBob is holding. I'm zooming in so you guys can see. I'm circling the line right here. And yeah, that line is for SpongeBob's pant leg, so it shouldn't be overlapping with the tray that he's holding. Like, what? Not a huge deal because I mean, like, how would any normal person catch this mistake? I'm just a massive dork, but yeah. And here's another one from the same episode.
Who's watching the cash register?
Did you guys catch it? All right, so at one point of this episode, we get this scene where SpongeBob and Squidward fight to get a hold of Mr. Krabs. And we eventually get this shot of the Krusty Krab from the outside. Well, we hear the turmoil going on inside. The problem is, if we zoom in on the Krusty Krab and look inside, this second shot from the Krusty Krab is just reused, and the fish inside the store are like frozen. I'm gonna play the clip again, and you'll notice that it's just a still image. The fish do not move at all. Yeah, totally a mistake here, and guys, we've got a lot more, so stay tuned. I'm saving the worst mistake for the ending of the video, but the set of mistakes from this next episode are going to blow your brain. Let's keep it moving, gang.
Behold! Revenge Bot Model QT Pie! Yes.
Did you say it was going to eat people?
That's right.
All right, so we're gonna jump over to season 13 for this next one. The episode is Say Aw, and this episode's a little hit or miss for me. It has some good moments, but it also has a mistake, and it's actually a really funny one. Roll the footage, and here's a hint. I'm showing a PNG of him on screen. You guys wanna focus on Incidental 6 right here, more specifically his feet. All right, I'm gonna play the clip with the mistake, and guys, let's see if you can spot it and comment it before I reveal it.
All right, you brain-dead barnacles, drop those patties.
Near the beginning of the episode, if we take a look at Incidental 6 right here, we can see that he's not wearing any shoes. He's just walking around in his bare feet. I hope the dude doesn't step on a Lego or something. That would really hurt. Remember this as it's important, as if we watch this same scene as it progresses, look, Incidental 6 randomly gets a pair of shoes. I'm showing a side-by-side, and I want to remind you, this all happens in a matter of seconds, so like, dude didn't go home and put shoes on. The animators drew him without shoes and then forgot and drew him again with shoes. All in the same scene, so yeah, pretty funny. Not as funny as this next episode's set of mistakes though. Let's keep it rolling, Grapple Gang. Stay tuned, things are gonna get wild.
Patrick, it's me, SpongeBob.
SpongeBob, What are you doing in there?
Patrick!
Oh my gosh! SpongeBob's stuck inside this rock!
We're back to the classics with this next one. The episode is Valentine's Day from season 1. And I mean the episode's from season 1, so it's kind of just automatically a banger. I love this episode. Let's expose some mistakes though. There are 3 in this one episode, wow. And here's the first one. Roll that clip.
Chocolate.
So this first one's pretty straightforward. As you guys know, in Bikini Bottom, all right, Sandy wears her suit with the helmet on it so that she doesn't die. She can't breathe in water like fish because she's a squirrel and needs air. So the whole point of this helmet right here is to stop water from going in and drowning her. Well, the animators forgot about this for a second, as when Sandy opens her helmet to receive the chocolate bubble, in the clips you guys just saw, no water goes inside her helmet, even though they're literally underwater. So again, I'm being a nerd, this isn't that big of a deal, but still kind of technically a mistake. Like, Sandy should have died. I hate to say it, but like, rip. Anyways though, here's mistake number 2 from Valentine's Day. This one's a lot more interesting. Roll that footage.
Mine! All right, everybody out! This is my carnival! Can't find it here in the carnival because it's on top of Mount Climb Up and Fall Off!
Did you guys catch it? Well, this one's kinda tricky, so don't worry, let me explain. A majority of this episode takes place at the Valentine's Day Carnival, like a big carnival that takes place at Goo Lagoon. Now, at one point of the episode, when we see this sign right here, we can see that climb up and fall off can be seen by the Valentine's Day Carnival sign right here. It happens more specifically when Patrick mentions it. However, if we rewind a little bit back to when we first see the Valentine's Day Carnival sign right here in this shot, Mount Climb Up and Fall Off is just not visible, it's not there, which is a mistake because, as I already mentioned, later on in the episode when Patrick mentions it, we can see the Valentine's Day Carnival sign, but Mount Climb Up and Fall Off is right there. So yeah, a little bit of a continuity error here. And wait, there's more! There's another mistake in this episode, guys. Here's mistake number 3 from Valentine's Day. Roll the footage, please.
Come in, Sandy. Sandy to SpongeBob. I got my ox in a ditch here. Howdy, Patrick.
Hi, Sandy!
Man, 3 mistakes in one episode, that's wild. Hopefully you guys caught it though, and if not, you guys know the drill, I'm gonna expose it. It happens during this scene when Sandy is fighting the chocolate-eating scallops. There are some crazy creatures in Bikini Bottom. Anyways though, in this scene, the balloon's basket seems to be missing, only showing the string attached to it. This is how the balloon normally looks with the basket right here. But yeah, when Sandy's fighting them, it's missing, and we can only see this string right here. Don't worry, the basket does reappear eventually when Sandy arrives at the carnival. But yeah, during that one shot, it's just gone. Yeah, gone. Now, that's going to do it for today's video, but if you want more SpongeBob mistakes, click this video right here, where I cover like 100 SpongeBob mistakes in one video. So do it, click it. I'll see you guys over there. Peace. The episode Go Fetch stands out in SpongeBob history as the first fully CGI animated episode of the series, and it uses unique visuals to drive into a simple, sweet adventure. Gary's favorite red ball bounces into a deep, monster-filled trench, and SpongeBob loyally plunges in after it.
Good thing this huge pile of lost balls broke our fall.
From the very start, the animators hid references in the background art, but not all of it made it into the final episode. For example, early concept paintings for the trench include scenery modeled after SpongeBob's Season 1 episode, Muscle Bob Buff Pants. And there's also a scene that didn't make it into the episode, resembling imagery from SpongeBob's Season 4 episode, Have You Seen This Snail? Which is fitting because this episode does follow a similar plot. Now these are subtle nods. A rock formation here, a lighting setup there, that gives long viewers a warm sense of deja vu as SpongeBob and Gary descend through the dark depths. But the treasures of Go Fetch aren't just in the scenery, they're also in the props and characters. Gary's coveted red ball is a direct continuity nod to the episode Gary's New Toy from Season 9, where Gary becomes obsessed with this toy.
Go and get it.
As you can see, this ball is very similar to the one in Go Fetch. In fact, the ball here is actually identical to the one to that episode, down to its color and pattern. Seeing Gary refuse to give up on his toy is extra rewarding if you recall how much the snail loved his bouncy ball back in Gary's new toy. The thing became obsessed with the toy. I don't know why I just called Gary a thing, but he was obsessed with that ball. And there's more. As SpongeBob chases Gary's ball deeper, they encounter a ghostly translucent fish lurking in the abyss. And if you're a true SpongeBob fan, you'll recognize the design, as it bears a striking resemblance to a quirky character from the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. In the movie, a similarly transparent floater appears during the trench scene, and here that design resurfaces as if the film and show have converged. It's a blink and you'll miss it cameo, but a thrilling one, to be honest. It's really cool to see a reference to that OG 2004 SpongeBob movie. If you haven't watched that, seriously go watch it, it's really good. Now, despite being a modern technical showpiece, like this is the first episode in 3D animation, and hopefully it's the last. I like 2D SpongeBob, but this one still feels almost nostalgic in spirit. It even includes a gentle tribute to the late Steven Hillenburg's storytelling style, mostly visual, adventurous, and guided by music and expression, and all without saying a word. So really good episode, and I've got more. Let's head over to more Easter eggs in this next episode. The episode SpongeBob Trash Pants turns a simple beach cleanup into a high-speed spectacle, brimming with references to SpongeBob's past. The episode finds SpongeBob volunteering to rid Goo Lagoon, Bikini Bottom's beach, of litter, and in doing so, he essentially becomes a one-sponge sanitation army, complete with a snappy uniform.
Trash, trash, everywhere trash. Picking up flotsam and jetsam. SpongeBob's the name, and litter's my game. So if you got garbage, I'll get some.
Well, longtime fans will immediately recognize SpongeBob's outfit in that last scene I just played, as it's almost a duplicate of the Union Soldier-style uniform he wore during the indoor campout of the Season 6 episode Pineapple Fever. The difference, though, this new version is bright white and sports a taller cap, but the homage is unmistakable. It's a fun visual cue that SpongeBob is entering battle mode against trash, much like he did against Cabin Fever, and indeed, he takes his new duty comedically seriously, which, as you guys know, that's how SpongeBob is. Remember when he became a hall monitor? He took that job equally as seriously. Anyways though, when this potato chip bag catches the breeze and flies off, SpongeBob gives chase across Bikini Bottom, and the episode becomes a grand tour of Easter eggs. The first stop, the boat rental kiosk at Goo Lagoon, which eagle-eyed viewers will remember from the episode Abandoned Twits. And there's more. As SpongeBob sprints past, determined to catch the rapper, he suddenly pulls off a classic gag. He deepens his voice to a booming baritone and sprouts a heroic square jaw. This hilarious transformation is a direct callback to this scene from the episode Hall Monitor.
And assume my duties as
Hall Monitor!
Wish me luck, Mrs. Puff.
Gotcha!
Fell for the old tears of a trash man routine. I'll just put you in my pocket for safekeeping.
As you just seen, SpongeBob for a moment acquires a deep authority voice and ends up looking like a total Chad, a Giga Chad. Look at that jawline. In Hall Monitor, it was a part of his overzealous persona, and seeing it resurface in an episode years later, like 20 years later, is a perfect inside joke showing that SpongeBob is still a control freak, and he can have a really nice jawline sometimes. The chase scene becomes a who's who of Bikini Bottom cameos. At one point, the Hot Rod tough guy from the episode Midlife Crustacean zooms by in his flaming convertible.
Hey, you guys must be lost! Doofus Drive is around the corner!
This time though, he gets pulled over by a police officer for speeding. The tough guy instantly becomes a softie. He produces flowers and chocolate out of nowhere and hands them to the cop in apology. But meanwhile, in the midst of the chaos, Bubble Bass barrels through the scene wearing a familiar ensemble he wore way back in the Season 1 episode Fools in April. I guess Bubble Bass hasn't updated his wardrobe since 1999, which is a cute detail for observant fans. And keep your eyes peeled on the background as Bubble Bass tries to escape SpongeBob, as for a split second, Patrick is visible hanging from a carnival prize hook on the boardwalk, desperately trying to stay hidden. The visual gag references Patrick's antics in The Whole Tooth from Season 9, where in this scene he does a very similar action at a fair to avoid going to the dentist.
Wow.
And we have a winner.
Thank you.
Oh, darn it.
It's a tiny detail, but it rewards viewers who catch the parallel Patrick once again hooked at a fair. But guess what, guys? We're still not done. There's more, and there's a lot more. As SpongeBob's pursuit takes him through town, the animators populate the streets with old establishments we've seen in prior episodes. We pass by mattresses and then some, and if this store looks familiar, it's because we've seen it before. It's the exact same store from the old school episode, The Lost Mattress, where SpongeBob and friends bought a new bed for Mr. Krabs. Next is Martha's Craft Zone, which again, we haven't seen it for a while. The last time we seen it was in the episode Have You Seen This Snail, when SpongeBob gathered supplies to make Missing Gary posters. And then, in a triple whammy, we see Weenie Hut Juniors, the Pizza Pie Hole, and Taco Sombrero. Now I'm hungry, but this is the trio of fast food joints where SpongeBob tried working at when he got fired in the episode SpongeBob, You're Fired. Seeing all these locations on one boardwalk is like a mini SpongeBob map of memories, cleverly inserted without fanfare. They establish Bikini Bottom's continuity, as all of these places still exist and are open for business, even as SpongeBob rushes by on his mission. The climax of the chase sequence is equally jam-packed with even more references. SpongeBob ends up launching into the air and crashes directly into a horse-drawn funeral carriage, driven by Slappy, the living dummy character from Nickelodeon's crossover, The Patrick Star Show. As SpongeBob hurtle through the psychedelic sky, keen fans will notice it's the same sky tunnel that Mrs. Puff and SpongeBob flew through in the episode Doing Time. Here's a side-by-side, and yeah, man, this is a reference to a season 3 episode. It's really cool. Reusing that distinctive swirling background for SpongeBob's trash flight is a brilliant deep cut. And even the title card of SpongeBob Trash Pants carries an Easter egg. Its design mimics the title card of Jellyfish Hunter from season 2, except now there's trash everywhere around the title. But actually, there's more, and you really need to be a nerd to catch this one. As a cherry on top, the episode slips in a meta reference that even the most seasoned fans might have been stunned by. For those who don't know, a WH-2O radio tower appears during the chase, a sunken red and white boat with a tall antenna, mass broadcasting music. Casual viewers might just see a random radio station, but SpongeBob nerds like me recognize WH-2O as the fictional Bikini Bottom radio from the Best Day Ever album, a SpongeBob music album released in 2006 that opened with a WH-2O skit. I'm gonna play it here. I'm gonna try to put some music in the background maybe so it doesn't get claimed, but listen.
Hi, radio listeners. This is SpongeBob SquarePants. When I'm in Bikini Bottom, I listen to Al Bacori, the tuneful tuna, on WH2O. WH2O.
In Trash Pants, this very station is shown for the very first time in the series, making the first ever crossover of a SpongeBob album element into the TV show. On the other side of the station is text proudly declaring nothing but chase music since 2006, a cheeky reference to the album's release year and the jaunty chase music it featured. It's an Easter egg that nobody saw coming, not even me, breaking the wall between SpongeBob music and cartoon canon. And with that, SpongeBob Trash Pants cements itself as a treasure trove of inside jokes. An episode that, much like SpongeBob's trusty uniform, stitches the old and new together in one entertaining package. Next up is the episode Gorilla Suit Day, another one from season 16. I've been covering tons of new episodes in this video, just saying, so please subscribe. But if you're a true SpongeBob fan, the episode name Gorilla Suit Day should already kind of give you an idea of one of the Easter eggs here. But like I said, you gotta be a hardcore SpongeBob fan. But we'll get there. So the premise itself of this episode is really fun. On the annual Gorilla Suit Day, SpongeBob dons a full-body gorilla costume, and with Patrick's help, plans to prank the whole town. Right from SpongeBob's morning routine, the episode starts referencing classic SpongeBob moments. For one, when SpongeBob wakes up, he excitedly checks a giant calendar on his bedroom wall. And this itself is a reference, as if we rewind back to the season 1 episode Boating School, take a look at this scene.
This is it, Gary. The big boating exam is today. I've never felt so capable!
Here's a side-by-side, and yeah, those are the two exact same calendars. So a cool Easter egg there again, but let's keep it moving. SpongeBob then enthusiastically swings on a vine and launches himself into the calendar to mark the date, which is also another direct homage to Boating School, as you guys just saw. The only difference this time, and I'm showing it side-by-side and looping them, is that he's imitating Tarzan instead of using his bed as a catapult. And here's another fun fact for you guys about this episode. As you heard, SpongeBob did like a Tarzan-like roar just now. And funnily enough, the sound clip that was used for this is actually a recycled clip. As listen to this scene from the episode Who Are Zoo. Yeah, the animators or the editors were feeling kind of lazy and they used the exact same sound effect and recycled it in this episode. Also, the whole gorilla suit thing seems to be somewhat of a reference to the episode I Had an Accident, as at the end of that episode, Patrick dresses up in a gorilla outfit. We're not done with this one yet though. As SpongeBob struts around in his gorilla outfit, eagle-eyed viewers might notice a familiar design. The gorilla suit he wears looks identical to the one he briefly tried on in the season 6 episode Boating Buddies. Except in this episode, the fur is gray rather than brown. In my opinion, guys, I think that this one's a reach, but if you were to go on like the SpongeBob Reddit, I've seen people debating if this is an Easter egg, so don't blame me, I'm just presenting it to you. Later, when SpongeBob tears apart the house in a panic because he gets stuck in the suit and starts being mistaken for a real gorilla, he starts searching for his trusty spatula. And listen closely as he calls it something specific.
Spatty? Spatty!
As you heard, SpongeBob referred to his spatula calling it Spatty. And if we listen to how SpongeBob refers to his spatula in an older episode, Spatula of the Heavens, listen, he calls it the same thing.
My spatula's broken, Mr. Krabs. I can't make Krabby Patties without Spatty.
This episode also adds to a running gag about Mr. Krabs and deep fryers. Unfortunately for our favorite crab over here, there have been numerous instances in older episodes where Mr. Krabs has just straight up gotten deep fried. For example, take a look at this clip from the episode Whatever Happened to SpongeBob.
Mr. Krabs, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Ouch, that definitely hurt. And it happened again in the episode Mermaid Pants. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling pretty hungry now, but that's not what we're here for, as this gag of Mr. Krabs getting deep fried was actually referenced in Gorilla Suit Day. As take a look at this scene.
You can't fry me. I'm not even battered. I hate Gorilla Suit Day.
Hey, at least it happens off camera this time, but that sounded like it really hurt. Turns out though that Mr. Krabs isn't the only person to get hurt in this episode. For one more final meta gag or reference, Squidward ends up getting physically squashed by a rampaging real gorilla that appears, which is a callback to the episode I mentioned earlier, I Had an Accident, where something very similar happens. By the end of the episode, the town is in chaos, but fans are treated to a treasure trove of references. From SpongeBob's calendar shenanigans to Mr. Krabs getting deep fried, this episode's a good one with lots of Easter eggs. I recommend it. As most of you know, Squidward is an artist, so it's no surprise that one of his old paintings is referenced in Season 6. The painting in particular are his 483 self-portraits first seen in the episode Gone, and they appear when SpongeBob is having tea with Squidward in the episode Not Normal. Another reference can be found as SpongeBob and Patrick are belly sliding through town. As they go off a ramped truck, Oyster Stadium can be seen for the first time in a while as they are falling. Here's a clip of both references or Easter eggs with audio.
I never thought I'd hear myself say this, but please come in, SpongeBob.
Thank you. Tell me, what are you doing cooped up in here when the weather outside is so normal?
Well, today is dusting day, the day I dust my 483 self-portraits.
Wow, that's something you don't see in the average house.
Squidward! Have you seen Gary? He's gone missing! Squidward? Not a sign of Squidward anywhere. Squidward? You up here?
Mommy, what are those things?
Those are undesirables, honey.
We've seen
Patrick ate cold doubloons.
Wait, I saw it first! Yeah! Mine! Huh?
Boy, Mr. Krabs, you sure are sweaty.
What's this? Where are the doubloons?
It's a game. The Flying Dutchman's treasure hunt.
Looks like you've shanghaied me.
My turn. 5. One of your shipmates has been a bad pirate. Send him to the brig.
I guess we could play something. How about a yo?
No.
Yo. Buried treasure board game?
No.
The next episode we'll be talking about today actually features 2 Easter eggs, so let's just skip the plot summary and get right to the good stuff. The first is a SpongeBob's Last Stand reference, with this Save the Jellyfish sign being shown in the pile of rubble. Another reference is this ukulele, as it's most likely a reference to the ukulele used by SpongeBob in the episode Fun, which is another reference to an older SpongeBob episode. I love those. Here's a clip.
Chum bucket, sludge bucket, highway fly away. Lily liver, pizza giver, mashed potato, kelp tomato. All we are trying to say is give Jellyfish Eels a chance.
I can't take it much longer. I hope he's not in any pain, wherever he is.
I think he's doing just fine.
Mr. Krabs, you gotta get up. We gotta get out of here.
Oh. Okay, T-Boy, I think I'm good.
Remember to drink plenty of fluids.
Look, SpongeBob, you see all this stuff?
One of my favorite classic or iconic SpongeBob episodes is Season 3's Krusty Krab training video, an episode that parodies fast food training videos from the 90s and does a very good job at doing so. Now, as a kid, I absolutely loved this episode, so I was really happy when it got referenced in the episode Appointment TV.
To keep up with today's demanding customers, no expense has been spared to acquire all the latest achievements in fast food technology.
This here is an advanced patty control mechanism. Here you can see our automated money handling system. Don't touch.
The character, Flats the Flounder, made multiple appearances in early seasons of SpongeBob. For example, Sandy's Rocket, Texas, but most notably The Bully, where he plays a major role, where he pretty much wants to kick SpongeBob's butt throughout the entire episode just for sitting beside him and saying, "Hey, poor SpongeBob." Now, since The Bully, he hasn't had very many appearances. He has appeared a few times, but it has been fairly limited. That was until the episode Don't Feed the Clowns, as he's actually a customer of the bakery who gets knocked out by getting hit with a pie thrown by Incidental C1. Talk about a cool reference. It's nice to see Flats the Flounder back in action again, especially in a more recent episode. Now, I'm going to show a clip of this Easter egg with audio, but before I do, I just want to say thank you to everybody who took the time to watch this video. Seriously, shout out to the Grapple Gang. Comment and I'll respond if you're subscribed. Anyways though, I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy the clips.
Is from a town where kicking someone's butt means that he wants to be your friend. And maybe play some sports with you on weekends.
I got diarrhea.
Hot pepper pie!
In the Season 6 episode, The Krabby Chronicle, we get a cameo from a longtime fan favorite character that had been absent for some time. Now, back in Season 3, we got the iconic episode, Nasty Patty, an episode all about Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob nearly killing an innocent health inspector. Now, this health inspector is named Health Inspector Yellowtail Andy, and after missing for a few seasons, he made his much welcomed return in the episode The Krabby Chronicle. During this scene where he closes down the chum bucket after seeing an ad in the newspaper revealing that the food is legitimately made with chum. Ew. He even puts a giant out of business sticker on the chum bucket to really push the point. Fun fact, this episode is also where the health inspector's last name was first revealed to be Yellowtail. Pretty cool, huh? Oh, and also just saying, the character has made other appearances since the Krabby Chronicle, but this episode was his first reappearance in years. Here's a clip of the Easter egg with audio.
Hey, this guy's not a zombie. He's just an ordinary health inspector. Yes, and at the risk of being hit again, I'd like to present you with this.
Hey, Mr. Krabs, look! We passed the inspection!
Come on, everybody! Krabby Patties at half price! Well, not really.
Oh boy, I'd like a Krabby Patty.
The chum stick that's finally gonna drive crabs out of business!
I think not. I'm Health Inspector Yellowtail. I'm officially closing down your restaurant. That's not what this says.
Plankton's chum made of your chums? The chum bucket serves your friends in more ways than one? What? Who's to blame for this? Who?
Another classic SpongeBob episode that I loved as a kid was Season 2's Sandy, SpongeBob, and the Worm. This episode was pretty darn epic, with SpongeBob and Sandy teaming up and going on an adventure to find the Alaskan Bullworm that has been terrorizing Bikini Bottom. Now in the end, they succeed and manage to lunge the thing off of a cliff, and for a while, it seemed like this would be the last we'd see of the Alaskan Bullworm. That is, until the episode My Leg, as during the montage where SpongeBob is trying to purposefully damage Fred's leg, Fred sprinkles salt over his leg, then SpongeBob rings a bell, and the Alaskan Bullworm slithers over to Fred. Pretty cool, huh? Here's a clip. Now I don't know if it's just me, but it seems that Nickelodeon really turned up the Easter eggs in Season 12, as there are so many. One episode that comes to mind is Lighthouse Louie. In this episode, SpongeBob finds himself stuck cleaning Mrs. Puff's boating school lighthouse, which is full of a bunch of junk seen over the years throughout the show's history. Now during this scene, where SpongeBob falls into a pile of trash, we get a close-up look at one of these pieces of junk. I'm talking about this familiar-looking pizza box that I'm sure all of you recognize. That's right, this is yet another reference to one of my all-time favorite SpongeBob episodes, Season 1's Pizza Delivery. You know, I've always wondered if the Krusty Krab is still serving pizza, and hey, this pretty much confirms it. Here's a question though, which toppings would you get on your Krusty Krab pizza? Let me know in the comments. Anyways though, here's a clip of the Easter egg.
That box is haunted! Fine, these stairs are haunted! This trash is haunted!
Krusty Krab! Pizza is the pizza, yeah, for you and me.
In the episode, Crusty Catering, we're introduced to a new business scheme by Mr. Krabs, a catering service where SpongeBob, Squidward, and even Patrick cater food at parties and look after kids. Now at the ending of this episode, it's presumed that Mr. Krabs has ended the services and goes back to just running the Krusty Krab. However, it seems the business is still going, including the truck, as in the episode Plankton retires, there's a scene where Mr. Krabs claims he's off to go and make a delivery, and a patty falls out of the Krusty Catering truck, not only giving us a really cool Easter egg, but also confirmation that the business is still operating, even in Season 12, so yeah, really cool.
I cannot believe I let you talk me into this.
I'm off to make a delivery.
That fool.
In the iconic Season 2 episode Sailor Mouth, SpongeBob and Patrick learn some new, spicy, sentence-enhancing swear words from a dumpster outside of the Krusty Krab. And though they're told by Mr. Krabs not to use these bad words, which none of you should use either by the way, they eventually ignore the old man and get themselves into some trouble. Well, Patrick gets SpongeBob into trouble when he goes to snitch on him. Before all of this happens though, we're given this iconic scene, like this scene is iconic, where SpongeBob and Patrick play a board game called Eels and Escalators, a parody of the classic game Snakes and Ladders, and it makes for a really funny scene. Well, 10 seasons later, in the episode Bubble Bass's Tab, I think it's a season 12 episode, this board game, Eels and Escalators, is referenced, with it appearing on SpongeBob's internal shelf of games. As you guys know, I'm a major fan of the Steven Hillenburg era of SpongeBob, so I loved this little nod.
Now, let's play a nice wholesome game of Eels and Escalators.
Oh boy, my favorite!
Come on, Gary needs a new pair of shoes!
Ooh, eels! Too bad, SpongeBob, you gotta ride the eel.
Darn.
My turn! Hooray! Escalators! Up, up, up!
You'll have to play the 3 deadly challenges.
Oh, the 3 deadly challenges! I got this game! Where is it? Game of Strife, Shoots and Bladders. Oh, here it is! Ah! The 3 deadly challenges!
Board game. Whoopee.
Okay, and last but not least, our final Easter egg, or secret, can be found in the episode Patrick's Alley, which I will admit is a bit of a cheat since it's from the Patrick Star Show and not SpongeBob, but who cares? It's still really cool. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of SpongeBob incidental characters, so I was pleasantly surprised when I seen Incidental 98 pop up in Patrick's Alley. This extremely rare incidental is known for his blue shirt with a heart on it, and he hasn't made an appearance since season 2. There aren't a whole lot of images of him, but this was definitely a really neat return of a highly requested incidental. Everyone wanted to see this guy back, so it's really cool. Now, I'm going to show a clip of this with audio, but before I do, I just want to say to the Grapple Gang, thank you so much for watching, guys, and thank you so much for all of the support. We hit 400K thanks to you guys, and we're continuing to grow. It's awesome, seriously. By the way, if you're new to the channel, make sure to comment, as I'm going to be responding to the comments of all subscribers on this video. So if you're subscribed and you comment, YouTube will show me you're subscribed, and I'll respond for sure. So yeah, put your comments in, guys. Here's those clips. I'm Cartoon Corey, and I'll see you guys again soon. Stay awesome.
Patrick!
Too old. Throw it back.
Okay, so listen up, as this next Easter egg is a little complex. In SpongeBob, every episode has a production code, and sometimes these production codes will be hidden in episodes as Easter eggs. So, as you can imagine, this is exactly the case in the episode Food PBFFT Truck, as one of the signs at the Rock Bottom Mall reads SB138, which is actually a reference to the production code of the season 1 episode Rock Bottom, which makes sense because it's in the Rock Bottom Mall. So yeah, it's very subtle, but boy, is it cool to see such an iconic episode referenced in the modern day. Here's a clip.
Maybe the Rock Bottom Mall? Where is everybody? The circus should be good for crowds.
Maybe it's a flea circus. Huh.
Yeah? It's still warm.
I want to take your picture. Would you care to peruse my portfolio?
Oh, I'd love to. Would you look at that? Isn't it cute? Oh my, so artistic, girl. Oh, you simply must take a portrait of my whole family.
Our next Easter egg can be found in the Season 13 episode, Upturned Girls, an episode we've admittedly talked about a lot recently, but only because the episode is full of spicy Easter eggs. Now, the Easter egg in question has to do with this obscure SpongeBob villain, the Atomic Flounder. This supervillain was formerly an enemy of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, and made his first appearance in the Season 1 episode, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 2, as an old retired version of himself that gets attacked by SpongeBob. Now, since Season 1, the character has barely been seen, let alone mentioned. That is, until the episode Upturned Girls, as when Pearl and Narlene first arrive at Upturns, the exact same old retired version of the Atomic Flounder makes his first appearance in 20 plus years, making for a really cool little reference. Here's a clip.
And Barnacle Boy laid an egg.
Hey! That fellow over there used to be the Atomic Flounder. He could go back to crime, just like that.
Help! Help! Help somebody there! You're under arrest, Atomic Flounder!
Stop, kid! Stop!
This is my favorite department store, and like the heart of the big city.
Our first Easter egg can be found in the Season 13 episode, Upturned Girls. I know we've covered it a lot recently, but this Easter egg is really cool and new. But it is a little complicated, so pay attention. In the episode Squeaky Boots, it's Pearl's birthday. So we learn about flipper slippers, new shoes that are a bit of a fad amongst teenagers, and seem to be especially popular with young girls. Pearl wanted these for her birthday, she doesn't get them, but all of her friends wear them, and we know that Pearl really likes these and really likes shoes. Well, it seems that these shoes are referenced in the episode Upturned Girls, as when Pearl and Narlene enter the shoe area, there is a poster on the wall for what seems to be new, updated, or evolved versions of the shoes. I know this for sure because at one angle, we can see at the bottom that the shoes are by Flipper, and like I said, the shoes that they're referencing are called flipper slippers. So, definitely a really cool Easter egg here. Whoever wrote this episode, this is a really cool one. Here's a clip.
What is it, Daddy? It wouldn't be those totally hip new flipper slippers all my friends are wearing, would it? Everyone wants them.
It might be.
Don't forget my new flipper slippers, Daddy.
Darling, I won't.
Attention, Upturns shoppers. There's a sale in the shoe department, 10th floor.
No way, so many shows!
Huh?
The character Lady Upturn was first introduced in the episode Crusty Catering, and has been quite the reoccurring character ever since, with her even being included in the SpongeBob spin-off Camp Coral, with a major role. Well, the episode Upturned Girls, an episode we already talked about today, gave Lady Upturn's character even more personality, with Lady Upturn getting her own luxury shop called Upturns. And this is where we can find our last Easter egg, as if we watch closely during this scene, we can see that an extremely rare incidental makes their first appearance in nearly 20 years, that being the female collector, who made her last appearance in the Season 3 episode, One Krab's Trash, where she wants to buy the soda drinking hat for Mr. Krabs. Talk about a long-lost character.
I'm prepared to give you $500 for that drink hat.
Not so fast, I'll give you $1,000 for such a hat.
Okay, so this next one is a bit of a deep cut, so get ready, as what the episode references is very subtle. I didn't even realize it at first. In the episode Ghost Host, the Flying Dutchman realizes that he's lost his scary mojo. So to try and sharpen his skills, he tries to scare both SpongeBob and Squidward. It doesn't go very well, but during one of his attempts to scare SpongeBob, he transforms into this big red bug thing. And honestly, since this episode, we haven't really seen it since, but it seems that this exact transformation is referenced in the episode Ink Lemonade, as during this scene, where Squidward first enters the creepy nursery, there is a picture of this exact same big red bug that the Flying Dutchman turned into on the wall, thus making for, like I said, a really deep cut in terms of Easter eggs. Like, the Flying Dutchman transforms 50 plus times in Ghost Host, so it's interesting that they chose this one to reference in particular. But anyways, here's a clip with audio.
Not creepy nursery rhyme music!
The episode
We're dead, Patrick. Do you know what that is?
It's $1! I win!
That's not just $1. It's Mr. Krabs' first dollar, his most prized possession, and we got paid on it.
Jelly! I want to go to the party!
Oh, shrimp.
Many of our longtime viewers know, one of my top 3 favorite SpongeBob episodes is Season 1's Pizza Delivery. In this episode, Mr. Krabs gets a call for a late-night pizza delivery order, and despite the Krusty Krab literally being a burger restaurant and not a pizza place, Mr. Krab still takes the order and turns some Krabby Patties into a pizza. Now, considering how iconic this episode is, I was not surprised when I caught this little Easter egg in the Season 12 special, SpongeBob's Birthday Blowout, as during the live action scene where Plankton's voiceover artist is thrown out of the trusty slab, a Krusty Krab pizza box can be seen in the pile of garbage. That's pretty cool. I love classic references that reference the Steven Hillenburg era of SpongeBob. It was the best time. Here's a clip.
Mr. Krabs, we don't serve pizza. We don't deliver.
We don't deliver, but you do.
Sorry, Potty, you'll have to hold it. Come on.
Easy for you to say, Rob.
Oh, excuse me, sir. Pardon me.
Ooh, that was delicious. I love surface food.
And last, but really cool Easter egg.
Jellyfish feels a chance. Plankton's eye, ham on rye, Larry's thigh, battle cry.
You're supposed to be coming up with witty catchphrases to keep that rabble out there happy. Chum is fum. We've kind of got that one already.
Oh, I like that one!
Oh well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
We have seen many superheroes and supervillains throughout SpongeBob, mainly due to there being so many Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episodes. I love them, some of my favorite episodes. A lot of them have stuck around, for example the Dirty Bubble or Man Ray. But there have been a lot that have just disappeared. One often forgotten supervillain is the evil Jumbo Shrimp, who made his first appearance in Season 1's Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 2. Since his debut, he's made a few more appearances, but they've been far and few apart. That is, until the Season 11 episode, Squid Noir, as Jumbo Shrimp appears as a poster and an action figure in near mint comic books. And the suburban dad figurine throws the action figure at Mermaid Man's action figure during their fight. It's pretty cool. Here's a clip with audio.
Fighting a rogue's gallery of villains, like the Sinister Slug, the Atomic Flounder, and the dreaded Jumbo Shrimp.
I'm so glad you could make it.
I wouldn't miss this for the world, Dirty.
The most powerful of all crustaceans. It's Jumbo Shrimp.
Take that and that!
Our next mistake can be found in the episode Suction Cup Symphony. This episode is all about Squidward writing his very own symphony. Now during this scene, just as Squidward finally finishes writing his song, he has the same look on his face that he had in the episode Squid's Day Off, during the scene where he locked himself inside his house. Oh, also, it isn't necessarily an Easter egg, I guess, but the fish playing the piano in this episode is actually the same fish that SpongeBob sits next to at Reef Cinema in the episode Something Smells.
I did it! Mwah! Yes! There. Now I'll have to stay here and enjoy myself. I'm not even gonna think about you-know-who and the you-know-what doing I don't care.
Hi. I am very ugly, but you should enjoy the movie anyway.
Some of my favorite episodes of SpongeBob are the superhero-themed ones, where we get to see Mermaid Man, Barnacle Boy, and even some villains like the Dirty Bubble or Man Ray get into some action. Now in the Season 3 episode, Mermaid Man vs. Barnacle Boy 5, we were introduced to the Chief, the head of the International Justice League of Super Acquaintances. This guy pretty much sends Mermaid Man, Barnacle Boy, and the rest of the IJLSA on missions. And though his role was pretty important in earlier seasons, the character has not been seen very often since. Well, that all changed in the episode Swamp Mates, as not only does the Chief make his long-awaited return on the screen in the Mermalayer, but he also appears at the end of the episode as well. They even got the same original actor from Season 3, which is like 20 years ago, to reprise his role, thus making the Easter egg even more awesome. Here are a bunch of clips.
Super acquaintances, we need your help.
Holy halibut, it's the Chief!
Thank you for the introduction, Quickster, but we all know who I am. More to the point, we've got news on the whereabouts of Evil. Our sources last saw Evil harassing teenagers up at Makeout Reef. You know, Makeout Reef?
Flop and flounder, Mermaid Man. Make out reef.
Those fiends!
Heroes! It's the Chief! Wonderwell isn't late. She's been kidnapped by the nefarious ne'er-do-well, hoodoo guru, the voodoo villain!
Woohoo! This completes my collection!
Where are those patties? Oh, no, nuh-uh, no, Ah, there you are, Patty. Add one fluffy bun like so, and a squirt of special sauce.
Special sauce. Wait, soap is their special sauce?
How's this? Oops, can't forget the salad dressing.
So who here is familiar with this character? This character is named Granny, and she along with Miss Grusselpuss are both pretty rare in terms of incidentals. They don't show up very often. Well, they make a slight cameo in the episode Grandma's Secret Recipe, as both characters appear while SpongeBob and Great Grandma are knitting. This isn't necessarily the most mind-blowing Easter egg or cameo, I'll admit, but hey, it's pretty cool.
What I meant to say was, more please.
Knitting circles sure are fun, eh, Grammy Ma?
Nope.
Why are you not having fun?
Why? Because I don't knit, you nitwit!
Are you sure? 'Cause you make a real nice scarf.
In the episode Nasty Patty, another classic SpongeBob episode, this episode is a banger, SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs are confronted by a health inspector who wants to try everything on the menu to see if everything is up to the health code. This guy's name is Health Inspector Yellowtail Andy. And to be honest, we haven't seen him much since this episode. He has appeared a few other times, but he's usually a different color. But recently, in the episode A Place for Pets in Season 2013, he made a big return, and he looks how he used to look, the way he looks in Nasty Patty. This was a really cool reference, and it's awesome to see such an iconic character return to the show, even though it was a fairly minor cameo. But anyways, here's a clip of both appearances with audio.
Try the crunchy kelp dog, sir.
The buttered barnacles are a touch of heaven.
The powdered driftwood is exquisite.
Fresh sludge pudding.
More diet red tie.
Some fried
Please,
fruits.
gentlemen!
Oh no! The health inspector!
Oh, yes, the health inspector. And I'm afraid you can't run a restaurant and a feedlot out of the same building. It's unsanitary.
One of my favorite SpongeBob characters of all time is Man Ray, one of the many supervillains that Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy have had to deal with over the years. Now, back in the episode Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3, there is a scene in the Mermalair where we're introduced to Man Ray's Power Glove, a weapon of his that was stolen by his superhero foes. However, he steals it back. Now, though this item might feel insignificant, it was actually referenced a few seasons later in the episode Back to the Past, as Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy show SpongeBob and Patrick Man Ray's Power Glove, which is locked in the Locker of Memories. They then reconfirm that it was once owned by Man Ray, but after freezing him in tartar sauce, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy took it, which is also a reference, as this explains why Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy had it in Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3. A really cool Easter egg. I really like this one. Here's a clip.
We're not supposed to touch that stuff. We're not supposed to touch that either. We are really not supposed to touch those, sir. Good people have no use for weapons such as... Oh, the magic claw from episode 1582. Man Ray's Power Glove.
Back
It is after class!
Fight! 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 I don't see anyone fighting, do you?
April Fools, you little sausage!
Pretty Patties is now under new management. Who's next?
Okay, so I know we already talked about this episode today, but let's head back over to Captain Pipsqueak for a second. Now, when we first mentioned this episode, I went over all of its cool references to past episodes, but I did leave one out, and this is due to it not being from a SpongeBob episode, but from a SpongeBob video game. And that's this blue little dude known as Prawn. Prawn made his first appearance in the SpongeBob video game, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. Really good game that I'm actually going to be streaming on the channel soon. But yeah, it's really cool to see Prawn make his way over to the actual TV show. I wonder though, does this mean that SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom is now canon? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm curious.
Prawn!
Did someone call? Oh, I thought maybe I was looking at superheroes. But now I see it's just a couple of pieces of gnarled driftwood.
Prawn! I'll never forgive you, you madman!
What did Prawn do?
The worst thing you can imagine. He put all of Mermaid Man's white clothes in the washer with a red sock.
Everything I own turned pink! Pink!
What is this?
One of my favorite SpongeBob episodes is Season 1's Bubble Stand, where SpongeBob and Patrick do their best to introduce Squidward to blowing bubbles. Squidward really struggles at first, and boy is it hilarious to watch. But the episode's best moment, in my opinion, is when SpongeBob rotates his body to demonstrate and repeats the sentence, "Bring it around town." I mean, come on, if you're a longtime fan, then you know exactly what scene I'm talking about. It's iconic. Well, in the opening of the episode Mimic Madness, this iconic scene is referenced, thus making for a really cool Easter egg. SpongeBob does the exact same thing and even says, "Bring it around town." So yeah, really cool Easter egg. Here's a clip.
Stop on your right foot, don't forget it! Now it's time to bring it around town. Bring it around town. Then you do this.
Our first Easter egg can be found in the episode Bottle Burglars, and it references the iconic Season 2 episode Frankendoodle. In this episode, SpongeBob and Squidward accidentally let Plankton slip away with the coveted Krabby Patty secret formula. So, as you can imagine, the episode is primarily focused on the not-so-dynamic duo trying to retrieve it. Well, spoiler alert, they do, and the episode has a happy ending. But if we watch closely when Squidward turns on the Krusty Krab security footage, a drawing of Doodle Bob can be seen on the bottom of the table, referencing both Frankendoodle and Doodle Dimension. I have always loved Doodle Bob, so this Easter egg is awesome. Here's a clip with audio.
And when Squidward answers the door, it won't be me! Aw, look at him. Ain't he a doll? All he needs is a tie. Ready for action! Quack! Quack! Quack!
Come on. Now let's see if the security cameras picked anything up.
Hi, I'd like to order half a Krabby Patty, please.
Now our last Easter egg is a bit of a reach, I'll be honest, but hear me out, okay? In the episode Squeaky Boots, Mr. Krabs begins to freak out when he can't escape the sound of, well, squeaking. This drives our favorite crab crazy, and gives us this scene where Mr. Krabs turns blue and begins to hear and see the word squeak everywhere. He has a total meltdown. Well, this scene seems to be directly referenced in the episode Plankton's Paranoia, with this scene even using the exact same music, just this time, instead of Mr. Krabs freaking out about hearing or seeing the word squeaks, he's tripping out over plankton. Again, a bit of a reach with this one, but it uses the same music.
I didn't write that! Who said that? Was it?
Well, golly! No wonder they're all grumpy. Them whelks are full of germs. Why, they're sicker than a bull with the squirrel pox.
I know just what to do. After all, I've had the suds. I just have to absorb the whelk snot, and they'll return to normal.
What's wrong with you? You're paler than a baby seahorse. The suds?
Here's that patty you wanted, Mr. Krab, sir.
All right, SpongeBob, you're too sick to work.
No, Mr. Krabs, I'm okay. Honest.
One of my favorite SpongeBob episodes is Season 3's Just One Bite. In this episode, Squidward tastes his very first Krabby Patty, and though he lies and claims to hate them at first, by the end of the episode, we find out the truth. SpongeBob reveals that there is a patty vault hidden in the Krusty Krab that contains hundreds of Krabby Patties. And in the ending scene, we see Squidward break into this place to get his fix. Now, aside from this episode, we haven't really seen the Patty Vault since. However, it does appear in the episode Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 6 in the form of an Easter egg. It's only on screen for a short amount of time, but it can be found during this scene. Yeah, here's a clip.
There it is.
Holy shrimp! I don't know where to start. But all that matters is that it's just you and me and nobody.
Squidward? Is that you? Blocks, home to over 5 billion Krabby Patties. One evil mastermind would dare infiltrate this fortified fort and make off with its treasure. It is I, Kelp Thing. Do what I do.
Stop! You can't do that. Forbidden!
Hi, Grandma.
Come in and sit for a while. Have a cookie, SpongeBob. I baked a fresh batch of gingerbread men.
But where's Blackjack?
Oh, Blackjack just called and left a message for you. He couldn't make it because he's got some loose ends to tie up.
Loose ends? My parents! He's tied them up?
And if you don't hurry, you'll miss out on all the fun.
As a lot of our longtime viewers know, Season 1's Pizza Delivery is one of my favorite, all-time favorite episodes, with it being all about SpongeBob and Squidward going on a little pizza delivery adventure, and doing everything they can to get this box of pizza to its destination. Now, I don't know if the Krusty Krab still serves pizza to this day, but it is possible, considering that a Krusty Krab pizza box did pop up in a recent episode as an Easter egg. It's easy to miss, but in the episode Plankton Gets the Boot, a Krusty Krab pizza can be seen in SpongeBob's house, when he and Plankton are watching a movie in the living room. Pretty cool, huh? Now, you probably can notice there are a bunch of other Easter eggs in the shot, but I'm gonna leave you guys to find them, so leave a comment. What other Easter eggs are in this shot? Anyways though, here's that clip.
Ahoy there, Krusty Krab, how can I help you? Pizza? Of course we have pizza. Squid will bring it right over.
Mr. Krabs, we don't serve pizza.
Many unbearable hours later.
Oh, my love. What a fool I've been. You've always been the only one for me.
You need to have muscles. You need to have muscles on your muscles. You need to have muscles on your eyeballs.
Ew.
Looks like a rip snorting good time, SpongeBob.
Yeah, let's go in.
And this is the maximum security level. Since this is your first day, I'll let you peek at our #1 inmate. He's too dangerous to let him around the other inmates.
Our last Easter egg can be found in the episode Boating Buddies. In this episode, instead of the typical SpongeBob boating school episode, is all about Squidward attending boating school after getting a ticket. As you can imagine, this was all SpongeBob's fault, of course. But luckily for him, SpongeBob decides to help out, eventually leading us to this scene where Squidward does his driving exam. For a few frames, the rare incidental character Granny appears, thus making her first appearance since her debut episode, Have You Seen This Snail?
Just let go of it!
Hooligans! There you are. Miss Tuftsy, oh, Grandma finally found you.
Sheldon Plankton is quite the inventor, with the innocent yet evil little guy creating all sorts of gadgets, weapons, and robots that are all usually used for one-off appearances in episodes. But there has been one invention of his that has popped up multiple times, and that's Robot Plankton. Making his first appearance in the second SpongeBob movie, the robot has appeared twice, with the most recent appearance being in the episode Plankton Retires. The design is pretty much identical, so I would personally say that this was an intentional Easter egg by the art team. Who knows though? Here's a clip.
Me bunions are telling me it's time to stop gloating. Huh? Looks like you're falling apart at the seams. Huh?
For me, sub,
A robot!
Victory dance, booyah.
How would you be doing that when you're all the way over here in Dullsville,
Because I'm a decoy look-alike robot! Gotcha!
So what
I miss?
The episode
They couldn't come. They died. Then who's that? Ah, that would be my band!
We're ready to perform, Squidward.
Well, Squiddy, this is exactly how I pictured your band would look. That's his eager face.
In the episode Whatever Happened to SpongeBob, SpongeBob develops amnesia after running away from Bikini Bottom and eventually finds himself in New Kelp City. This place is very similar to New York, and believe it or not, SpongeBob actually becomes mayor of this place. However, due to him having amnesia and forgetting his name, he goes by a new name, that being Mayor Cheesehead Brown Pants. Well, this is actually referenced in the Season 7 episode, One Course Meal, when Plankton literally refers to SpongeBob as Cheesehead. Here's a clip.
For this, I appoint you Mayor of New Kelp City!
Hi, Plankton. What you doing laying in the middle of the road?
Go away, Cheesehead! Can't you see I'm trying to get run over? In fact, better yet, just step on me as hard as you can. Would you do that for